Yo, yeah, that's B-Eazy, that's the name. Way before the world knew he was running the game. Laid the groundwork, built the foundation strong. Been influencing the whole scene all along. Now everybody gotta give that man his praise. A living legend for the rest of his days. Oh, he deserves all the accolades, yeah. B-Eazy, B-Eazy, gotta give that man his praise. A living legend for the rest of his days. Oh, he deserves all the accolades. B-Eazy, B-Eazy.
Yeah. Listen up. It's B-Eazy Dat Dude, the great. He ain't fake, he one of the real guys. Spitting fire every stream. You been late to the party, now it's time to realize. From Pittsburgh to around the world, yeah, the flow is elite. Every beat that he slide on turns into straight heat. Came up from the grind, selling box on a laptop, running up a bag, feel like he hit the jackpot. Got the luxury visions, ambition vivid, never bluff. Persons progress, persevere when the going gets tough. B-Eazy Dat Dude, got stripes in the game. Every rhyme, every line, they gon' remember the name. From the streets to the stage, the energy don't fade. Legend in the making, yeah, history's what he's laid. Mic in his hand, heart in the flow and soul on every beat. Dropping knowledge, power, bravado, his legacy complete. Hustle, amplified, lyrics electrify, that's the truth. B-Eazy Dat Dude, established with certified proof. Feel the bass, feel the vibe, let it ride through the crowd. All the words, every hook, man, he keeps making us proud. King of his lane, rising above every feud. All hail the one and only, B-Eazy Dat Dude. Yeah.
Ooh, B-Eazy. He got that certain kind of profile, smooth and effortless style. He's so fresh, makes the whole room stop and stare a while. Hear him asking, who's that? Mama, there he goes again. The way he moves, you know he's gonna win. Oh, you ain't know? That's just B-Eazy. B-Eazy Dat Dude. That man right there. B-Eazy. Ooh.
He always do it big, you know who it is. B-Eazy, B-Eazy, B-Eazy that dude. He on his way to the top and he ain't about to stop. You thought he would flop and didn't wanna give him props. The things you dreaming about he already did do. Now it's time to soak a game he about to give you. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to tune in when he goes live. Make a contribution if you feeling the content. Tap into the realness if you tired of the nonsense. I mean, no disrespect, ain't trying to sound rude, but the world already knows that B-Eazy's that dude. Ooh.
We all here to see B-Eazy. We wanna listen to B-Eazy. Ayy, we all like B-Eazy. Nah, matter of fact, we love B-Eazy. Believe me, he really that dude. Subscribe to the channel, it's easy to do. If you care, then go ahead and share this fire content, extraordinarily rare. That's why I put that on my mama, he is that dude. And I put that on my daddy, he is that dude. So, ayo, who is that dude? Oh girl, that's just B-Eazy. Oh boy, that's just B-Eazy. Well, who is B-Eazy? Oh, you ain't know, he been a pro for show, all about the dough. He been running up them racks and still trying to get some more. Don't care about the fame, just trying to gain and grow. He really one of them ones, his presence so pivotal. So hell yeah, he that dude, this is unequivocal.
radios up. Turn your radios up. Y'all know what this is. Y'all know who this is. B-Eazy Dat Dude, an impromptu stream back with another one. This one is gonna be a banger. Controversial topics, so it will be a doozy. I don't like to keep y'all waiting. So before we get this thing started, you know, I gotta hit you.
If you know the song, sing along. Yeah, you're right.
私も地元民と言っても実際はぐらいです。もう友達できたの？うん。ぶっとこっち見ない。
Look, this promethazine got me leaning like a cholo in the club. I'm 20 deep. I don't be riding solo. Pull some bad bitches, they vanilla and cocoa. They wanna take some photos when we kick it out in Soho. Chicks are showing tits and popping pussy for my promo. Told them like juvenile, baby, move it for me slow-mo. Then I'm right back to the block, cause I keep getting moto. I be flipping, not shrinking. I don't give a fuck about no-ho. This nigga name ain't D-Lo, but pimpin' these bitches and stacking this bread forever be my stilo. This is B-Eazy Dat Dude in the trap making pass smooth. If I ever go broke, then I'm about to pull a jack move. Since a nigga healthy, I don't even gotta worry. With my bitch from Fiji, eating tandoori and chicken curry. That ism is really in me. My pimp game international. I design my own clothes, so I be always looking fashionable. Here's a couple facts about me that y'all didn't know. Some of y'all be getting bread, but I be getting bigger, dawg. I got bigger guns and a whole lot of bad.
And we are activated, and we've already been joined by some illustrious guests. We got Shock Rock King, Mr. On Time, Never Late. We got East Coast Finest, Nassau County, Roger Meadows. Where Brooklyn at? But salute to Mr. Meadows picking up the meds from Mama Meadows. So shout out to Mama Meadows, right? Tell her I said hello. You saw that Breaking Point segment? I sent it about being part 2. I don't know if I'll have time on this stream. If I do, I will cover that. If not, I'll come back and hit you with a double header, Roger. But salute to Roger. Salute to everyone that's joined the stream currently, viewing this concurrently, and that will be watching this on the replay, gang. And we ain't gonna wait. We gonna get right into this thing, man. Let me go ahead and pull this up too. Are Americans truly getting sick and tired of Israel? Now, some people will say that's anti-Semitic, but how are people sick? No one, well, except for some of the bigots, right? People are saying, not saying they're sick of J people. People are saying they're sick of America being Israel first. Is this the United States of America or the United States of Israel? Right? They always talk about MAGA, but doesn't Trump seem to be MIGA? Making Israel great again, or like I like to say, making Israel genocidal again. And Biden did it as well by giving Israel a blank check. But we're going to get into it, though. Right? Are Americans getting sick and tired of funding these genocidal escapades, you know, carried out by the only democracy in the Middle East? And I know these types of topics and conversations is the reason why my channel is shadow banned. So if you do want to hit your boy, you can see it scrolling down. Hit me on the Cash App. But hey, I got PayPal, Venmo, and stuff too. But if you're unable or unwilling to make a financial contribution, then hit your boy with a like. It won't cost you a fee. Like, share, comments are 3. Let's get into it. How Americans are getting fed up with the only democracy in the Middle East. Let's commence.
That's a nearly 20-point movement in just 3 years' time. And now the majority of Americans say they are not confident when it comes to Bibi Netanyahu. It's Netanyahu himself who has a major problem when it comes to public opinion in the United States. Look at this. Americans say they are not confident when it comes to Netanyahu and world affairs. Look at this. In 2023, the not confident percentage was 42. Up significantly, up like a rocket, up to 59%. That's a nearly 20-point movement in just 3 years' time. And now the majority of Americans say they are not confident when it comes to Bibi Netanyahu and world affairs. And we're not just talking Democrats here. We're talking the entire American public, nearly 3 in 5.
All right. Well, let's talk about the partisan breakdown here, because there are two interesting stories going on at the same time.
Yeah, there are two interesting stories. You might think that this might be a story of young Democrats moving significantly against Israel and moving against Bibi Netanyahu. But in fact, there is a twist to the numbers here. Yes, it is young Democrats, but it's actually older Democrats who are more likely to say that they're not confident when it comes to Bibi Netanyahu and world affairs. Look at this. Among Democrats under the age of 50, it's 73%. But look at this. Look among Democrats 50 years and older. It's actually larger. It's 81%. And both of these numbers are up significantly from where they were in 2023. But it's actually older Democrats leading the charge, many of whom are not on social media.
Yeah, and again, just to point out here, this is not confident in
This
Benjamin
is not
Netanyahu.
confident. They are not confident in Bibi Netanyahu.
Hey, let's talk about Republicans, too, because it's interesting, sort of the dichotomy we see here.
Yeah, okay. So,
So they're framing the story as Americans based on this polling are not confident in Bibi Netanyahu, right? But Bibi Netanyahu is considered a moderate, right? If people think that Bibi Netanyahu is deranged, you have to listen to what some of the other people in the Knesset and his cabinet members have said. Those people see Palestinians as Amalek. They see themselves as the chosen people, and that these people are beneath them. So Bibi Netanyahu is actually more sanitized and more politically astute than some of these rabid Zios in his admin. So people are trying to say they don't have confidence in Bibi. Okay, so if you get Bibi out of there because he's a corrupt criminal and a disgusting human being, but in terms of a politician, he's one of the coldest and one of the most effective, that the planet has ever seen. And this is not to praise him. I don't like the dude. I know he doesn't like my community. It's just calling a spade, right? You don't have to like Bibi Netanyahu, but for him to get what we call America, the greatest superpower the world has ever seen, Bibi Netanyahu and the state of Israel in particular, but Bibi Netanyahu has been exceptionally effective in getting America to tap dance for them, to carry out Bibi's war, right? Bibi has been trying to do this for decades, and everybody else was telling them no. Just like Cat Williams said that you got to tell Diddy, sometimes you just got to tell them no, right? Ronald Reagan, he at least told Israel no. And then when Ronald Reagan told Israel no, he said, man, I didn't even know I had that much power. So Americans will beat their chest talking about American exceptionalism and we're the greatest superpower, right? But then when it comes to Israel, they bend the knee and say that's the chosen place. But my Bible, but Jesus, it's like, Bibi Netanyahu and the state of Israel right now, as it's presently constructed, has nothing to do with the Bible. You've been convinced that it does, but that's your belief. People could believe anything, right? You believe everything in the Bible is real because someone wrote it in a book. So based on that logic, I should believe Spider-Man is real because someone wrote Spider-Man in a book. The Punisher is real. Someone wrote it in a book. Luke Cage is real. Someone wrote it in a book. You think it's outlandish to believe in these Marvel stories, but you believe in Marvel stories that happened in the book, right? You don't believe in any of these Marvel superheroes, but you believe in some mythical, magical powers as long as it was written in a good book. So yeah, many people are starting to question, is Israel truly the chosen place for the chosen people? And who are these chosen people? And if they are chosen, let's verify their lineage. But for some reason, Israel, or at least some parts of Israel, are against DNA tests. Why is that? Israelis talk about them being indigenous, and then you check their ancestry and they're indigenous to Europe. But it looks like people are starting to roll in, so I'm going to play more of the video. But I gotta give a shout out to the illustrious and the exquisite Atebe in building. And Roger says, Jays are sick of Israel. We don't just hear about them because their microphone is not as big as the Zios. I actually interviewed one, the leader of the Jays for Peace, who wave Palestinian flags. Well, if you have any contacts with any of those people, I would love to interview them. I had an interview with an Israeli person. Somehow the file got corrupted. I don't know if I was hacked, right? I had an interview with an Israeli chick and she wanted to hide her identity. I was like, it's okay. Somehow that file got corrupted, bro. So I'm gonna try to find that and retrieve that file. But yeah, there are some Jays getting sick of Israel. I'm just saying, like, they always tell you we have no money for nothing. But when it comes to Israel, there's always a blank check. And then if you say, you know what, I'm America first, how about we spend that money here? You hate the Jews. No. How is that anti-Semitic? Because I want American taxpayer dollars to benefit America. But somehow they've convinced you that giving money to Israel somehow helps America because they're the only democracy in the Middle East. Think about this. Israel is allegedly the only democracy in the Middle East, but they're currently the only so-called democracy presiding over a genocide. They slaughtered over 100 little girls in the Iranian school bombing. And it was oopsie doo. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be outraged and incensed about October 7th, which I am and which I was. But October 7th, and then they've done like 100 October 7ths over and over and over. And they're just defending themselves. How? They said that Hamas is some people who look like Aladdin running around with some old rusty RPGs and flip-flops. And they have this sophisticated military. They're bombing people, dropping tons of bombs. They've dropped more bombs than some places were bombed in World War II. So remember, they're the victims in all of this. Let's get back into it, though. Topic: Americans are getting sick of Israel. Are they getting sick of Israel, or are they just getting sick of Bibi Netanyahu?
Said you might have expected younger Democrats to be leading the charge and not being confident in Bibi Netanyahu, but in fact, it was older Democrats. But look at the reverse here. Look among Republicans, because here there is a massive age split. And look at this. Republicans who are not confident in Bibi Netanyahu. Look at this. Younger Republicans, nearly 3 in 5, we're talking 58% compared to 30% of Republicans who are 50 and older. This, to me, is so fascinating because there is a massive age.
Yikes. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to just let this marinate on the screen. Huh? I thought the GOP was Israel first. MAGA is truly MIGA. They ain't making America great again. MAGA is about MIGA making Israel great again. So when you look at this, the young Republicans, and you know some of those young Republicans in Florida, they were saying all sorts of anti-Semitic stuff. Their main ire and vitriol was towards black people, calling us watermelon people. They was on their chud, the bussy fairy type stuff, saying that we were chimping out, low IQ, and all this other stuff, right? They were okay with all of the anti-black stuff, but now those young Republicans are saying, you know what, we're tired of Israel. And this is why some people allege that it was this chosen only democracy in the Middle East that had something to do with Charlie Kirk's unaliving. Remember, Charlie Kirk was allegedly shot with some mystery rifle, right? No one could truly. Has anyone confirmed what Charlie Kirk was actually shot with? They paraded him around the town. They paraded his wife around every major media outlet. What weapon was Charlie Kirk shot with? Because remember, the alleged weapon that he was shot with, then they said, oopsie, that's not what he was shot with. Okay, fine. You made a mistake, which is you're supposed to be the expert, not supposed to be making mistakes with this, but okay. What firearm, what rifle, what military grade weapon was Charlie Kirk shot with? And then they were trying to say that he had a rubber neck, like he was, I don't know, Doctor Strange, or had some sort of Marvel superhero powers that the bullet didn't go through. It just got lodged in Charlie Kirk's thick neck. But hey, just stop asking questions, because his wife is grieving, right? His same wife who did a fundraiser for Charlie Kirk and raised hundreds of millions of dollars. My husband, oh, thank the Lord, my husband. Is like, come on, man. But you're just supposed to buy it because Charlie Kirk was what? Who was Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk was a bigot going around debating weirdo college kids, right? Anytime he tried to challenge anybody that had a modicum of intellect, he got absolutely destroyed. And people were praising him. Well, at least he had the guts. He had the guts to go out there and get intellectually destroyed. Imagine a dude that had NBA level skills, but he always went to go play at the high school. Bro, if you're a pro, why won't you go play with the pros? Charlie Kirk would consider himself a pro level debater and influencer, yet he was hanging around high schools and colleges wanting to debate them. And people were praising him. Yeah, he owned them. What, he owned some freshmen in college? And the dude is damn near in his 30s? Like, okay, is that really praiseworthy? But for the sycophants that wanted to see him dunk on black people and say, what about black on black crime? He was actually leading that. Before Charlie Kirk got allegedly unalived, he was about to go into his whole what about black on black crime spiel. And then he was allegedly unalived by a white dude. Right? That's what they want you to get. George Floyd and BLM. And then you get beat over the head by a white dude because you were whining about George Floyd. America in many parts are more segregated than it was during the height of Jim Crow. So most crime is intraracial. Most white people commit crimes against white people. Most black people commit crimes against black people. But there's no color on crime, but there is when it comes to black people, right? What about black on black crime? Okay, fine. Let's unpack black on black crime. And after that, since we don't want to make it about race, and since we live in a colorblind utopia, then let's talk about brown on brown crime. Let's talk about Latino on Latino crime. The reason why the Latinos are saying, I was seeking asylum, I was fleeing gang violence. Gang violence from who? Gang violence from other people that look like them. Mexican on Mexican crime. Colombian on Colombian crime. Cartel on cartel crime. There's not a bunch of black members of the Mexican cartel. There's not a bunch of black members in the Colombian cartel. So who else is it? It's people that look like them committing crime. Why aren't these phrases very pervasive? Colombian on Colombian crime, Latino on Latino crime. Most of the Latino gangs harm other Latino gang members. Sereños, MS-13, Tren de Aragua, right? So crime doesn't have a color, but we've been joined by Fabulous, Frank Nitty, Mr. Gritty. Welcome to the city. We got Moore says Black Queen. I don't know what this means, but still, maybe my imagery right here, right? Oh no, I don't. Hold on, let me say this. Bam, maybe that's the Black Queen you talking about. So salute to Moore. And then Brian Dilliard says Israel fatigue. Hey, that's a good one. They always talk about black fatigue, which they've hijacked. I'm going to do a whole stream about black fatigue. And they My bad. I accidentally hit a button and it backed me out. But yeah, they don't have black fatigue. These same cats that say they got black fatigue, if you look at their search history, they're on Cornhub, they on X videos, they on Bang Bros, and in their search history, they're always typing in BBC. I got black fatigue, but then they watching these Mandingo warriors, Lexington Steele and Brian Pumper rail these snow bunnies from behind. I got black fatigue. Why are you watching all of these? They watching Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood every day. I got black fatigue. Listening to NBA Youngboy and Young Dirk or something, right? I got black fatigue. It's like, do you really? Sounds like black obsession. But yeah, let's get back into that video because I backed out. Hold on, let me pull this right up. And I do appreciate y'all because y'all in here rocking heavy, but let's get back into it. Americans are getting sick and tired of Israel. So hold on.
Split within the Republican Party when it comes to Bibi Netanyahu and when it comes, of course, to Israel as well. And this, to me, is going to be very interesting in the years to come, especially as we enter the 2028 primary season, where we're seeing this massive flip within the Republican Party on Israel. And is there going to be a candidate who comes out here and says, you know, maybe we want to do a split and tries to appeal to younger Republicans?
It really is interesting to see a majority of younger Republicans saying they're not confident in Netanyahu.
Exactly, and double the percentage for older Republicans.
So with a poll showing the president facing 70% disapproval on the economy, surely that same poll would show Democrats with a big advantage in the race for Congress.
You would think, but
So I got to give a shout out to Troy Jones. That's an FBA name right there. Where you from, bro? You must be from down south. You from the ATL? Is this Pastor Troy Jones? So shout out to Troy Jones. He says, God bless foundational Black American men. We are the movers of the movement. And Troy, you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to address, after I cover how Americans are sick of Israel, I'm going to tell you how Black heroism is foundational Black American culture. And once it's foundational Black American culture, that means it's entrenched in every fabric and fiber of the country. There would be no USA without FBA. Salute to Troy Jones. Let's just get back into it.
I think this poll serves as a big 50 and older. This, to me, is so fascinating because there is a massive age split within the Republican Party when it comes to Bibi Netanyahu and when it comes, of course, to Israel as well. And this, to me, is going to be very interesting in the years to come, especially as we enter the 2028 primary season, where we're seeing this massive flip within the Republican Party on Israel. And is there going to be a candidate who comes out here and says, you know, maybe we want to do a split and tries to appeal to younger Republicans?
It really is interesting to see a majority of younger Republicans saying they're not confident in Netanyahu.
Exactly, and double the percentage for older Republicans.
So with a poll showing the president facing 70% disapproval on the economy, surely that same poll would show Democrats with a big advantage in the race for Congress.
You would think, but I think this poll serves as a big-time reality check for Democrats, and that is, it ain't over yet, especially with the redistricting when we look ahead to the 2026 race for Congress. You would have thought that the Democrats' lead would expand on the generic congressional ballot. It didn't happen. Look, in March, Democrats are up by 6 points. Look at this now. Democrats are up by 3 points, and I want you to note the yellow lettering. No clear leader. It is within the margin of error. So despite all of the talk about Donald Trump's unpopularity, the fact is Republicans very much remain in the game when it comes to the congressional midterms, which are occurring in what, 6 or 7 months at this point?
Yes, and don't call me Shirley. So a lead of 3 points in the generic ballot test here. Does that get the job done?
No, it might not actually get the job done. And I love any reference to Airplane, I will say, and Leslie Nielsen. Look at this. Okay, take a look here. Democrats in the National House vote margin. According to my estimate, what they need for control with redistricting in terms of the national popular vote is somewhere of a win between 3 and 4 points. What's CNN's current poll with no clear leader? It's a 3-point advantage. If this were, in fact, the actual result come election day, the race for Congress, the race for the House, would be basically a toss-up. And that is why the redistricting efforts that have been happening are so important, because before the redistricting happened, Democrats essentially just needed to win the National House popular vote in order to win control of the House of Representatives. But now, with the redistricting, their ladder, they have to climb ever higher, and a 3-point win may very well not do it. This is well within the realm of possibilities. Could be Democrats take back the House. You know, if Democrats outperform the CNN poll by a few points, they take it back. But they could underperform as well, and that would be big-time trouble. As I said at the start here, this game is most certainly not over. Republicans very much in the race for the House of Representatives are in that game.
All right, and I was saying.
So yes, the politics is getting heated, and Penny Helga, that's an interesting name. So shout out to Penny Helga, says the FB pedo class is still playing vote for me. I'll make it better. Well, Penny, in order for me to vote for you, you got to at least put a profile pic so I can see who and what I'm voting for. But how will you make it better? Do you have any policy proposals, Penny? So, I'll do a tongue twister. Penny, put a policy proposal. Say that 3 times fast, Penny. Let's get back into it. And I'm only going to play a little bit more of this. Actually, let me fast forward a little bit more. The main thing I want to show you is that America is getting sick and tired of Israel. And most of the stuff that they're going to talk to now is about redistricting. And we already know what's going on. You said, not me, silly, my bad, meant them, bro. Okay, Penny. Okay, I thought you were serious, Penny. But salute to Penny Helga, right? But what do y'all think in the chat? Y'all let me know. And Roger says, I dropped the link to the video of the interview on your DM. So let me see if I can try to check that while I'm waiting. And I don't know if I can play all of it. Let me try to see. But what do y'all think? Are we sending too much money to Israel? Is Israel our greatest ally? What are we really getting? Because some people say that we're getting intelligence. So we're sending hundreds of billions, and I'm trying to open the link, so I don't think I'll be able to play that one, Roger. But y'all let me know, right? Israel has free. No one considers Israel to be a socialist utopia. But yet Israel has free health care for their citizens, free college for their citizens, and it seems to be working out fine for them. As soon as you talk about free health care for the American citizen, there's socialism. Okay, but the greatest ally that you claim is Israel. They do it for their people. They seem to be working out fine. They have great health outcomes. People are highly educated, disciplined, right? People can say that they're rabid Zios, and many of them are. Some of them are not. But what are we truly getting out of sending not millions, hundreds of billions to Israel? And I know some people will try to say, oh, the money is not just going to Israel, it's going to a lot of the U.S. contractors, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, Boeing, etc. But no, I'm against the military industrial complex. Why are they always pushing more money for military spending? They are trying to frame it as, look, we need all this money because now we're going to be engaging in drone warfare. You can't solve everything with drone warfare. You're going to need bodies and boots on the ground. And who are those boots going to be? Are those boots going to be mainly American Jewish people? Or are those people going to be people that look like me? All the people that say, what about Chicago? That's where they're going to go recruit people. They're going to try to give them incentives for these so-called thuggish people from Chicago, Baltimore, Oakland, or whatever to join the military. So they look at these people as a scourge to society, but as soon as they want someone to fight their wars, that's where they're going to be looking. Do you think Barron Trump is going to be signing up to go fight some wars in the Middle East? Is Jared Kushner and Ivanka or whatever her name is going to have a baby and their kids are going to get ready to go to the military? So when we're over here fighting these wars for Israel, who does it serve and who does it help? We need more white babies so we can go send them across the parts of Africa to destabilize countries. Nah, I'm vehemently against that. That money, instead of being invested in militarism, we can be investing in our own people. They love to talk about China and how communism is bad. Okay. And This person came through, Terry. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna drop the link right now, Terry. And if you don't come up, then I'm gonna have to block you because you came in here like a moist idiot. You know what I mean? There's the link right there, Terry. Come up here, Terry Rosario. Move to China, bro. Your name is Rosario. You're an immigrant, bro. What are you talking about? This is an immigrant, and this is nothing against immigrants, but bro, you fled your homeland. Your family was failing. Your family was failing in your homeland. That's why you had to immigrate here, bro. So you moved to China. So you came over here, and they always talk about low impulse control. Look at this dude. Can't even control himself. Yeah, hit the link, bro. This dude comes in here like a deranged idiot and imbecile, derailing the conversation. Move to China. No, move back to your homeland. How about that? So I'm gonna wait for bro. I'm gonna give you like a minute to hit the link. Yeah, you don't know me either. So you came in here disrespectful, but you don't know me, Terry. And of course, no one knows you. You're a weirdo. No one knows you, Terry. What are you waiting for, bruh? At least you said I'm skilled. I am skilled, but you haven't told me what the propaganda was. Your whole haircut looks like propaganda. So while we're waiting, if you don't hit the link, then I'm gonna have to get you up out of here, bruh. You over here whining like a little moist hoe in the chat. Hold on. You got all this shit to say in the chat. It ain't no hold on, bro. Where are you at? You see what I'm saying? People got all the smoke in the chat. It's in the chat. It says StreamYard. Click on the link. Is this the best the high IQs have to offer? Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna drop it one more time, and then if you don't come up, then I'm gonna just have to move on because you're derailing the show. And Frank says China invests in its economy, America invests in its financial sector. Yeah, they always talk about how China is so bad and everything like that. And I'm not saying that China is just the greatest place and that it's just they're innocent angels and so benevolent. But what I'm saying is they do invest in their people, right? And they are superior in the terms of technology, right? I know Roger wants me to get into it. I've briefly mentioned it, but it's fairly obvious, right? Is your iPhone made here? And then we got wackos like Terry Rosario, move to China. Like, bruh, go back to your homeland, bruh. Go back to your homeland, Terry Rosario. And you know what? I'm going to just move on because bro is over there whining in the chat, came in extra disrespectful. You come over here and you lead with respect. So Terry Rosario, hit the link or I might have to get you up out of here, bro. But just so you clear.
Hold on here, bro. Excuse me, okay? First of all, who are you? Respect that. That's all I ask, bro. That's all I ask. Excuse me, everybody. Please listen up. I do need your attention. I'm going to say this once because I ain't going to say it again. All right? We almost had an altercation up in here. I don't want it to happen again. All right? So remember these 3 words. Respect my house. All right?
That's all you got to do. Remember those 3 words. And let's see. Terry says he apologized. I didn't see no apology, but if you apologized, I'll move on because I really do gotta move on with the show. But y'all seen I dropped the link multiple times. And shout out to Michael Moore. That's a cold pick you got up there. You says it gets cold in the Caucasus Mountains. Yeah, shiver me timbers. Shout out to Michael Moore though. And shout out to Terry Rosario because like I said, okay, I respect that. Terry, you apologize, you know. we can move on. It's water under the bridge. Salute to Teddy Rosario. He came in disrespectful. He apologized. It is what it is. And we don't have to agree. You know what I mean? I'm here to have a discussion and to debate. You feel me? But, you know, it has to be a clear line on what we're debating. But let's just get into the next story. Yeah, de nada. And shout out to Lanita Graham. That's an FBA name. Lanita, baby. It sound like your name would be Lanita Ann or Lanita Mae Graham. This person, come on, bruh. Poetic, like me and Terry already talked about it, right? So I don't think you need. You said he apologized, but no, there was no apology until I said I don't see an apology. And once he said he apologized, I accept his apology. We don't need you to come with the capes. Well, actually, I guess this is fitting. This actually was a perfect segue, Poetic, right? My segue to my topic that I said, heroism is foundational Black American culture. Now, I don't know if this person is a foundational Black American, but he came in with the capes for Terry Rosario. So salute to him, right? He even sided against a brother to protect another, you know, another of color. But then again, what color is Terry? You know, another topic for another day. But you rest assured, Poetic, you can put the cape up. Put the cape down, bruh. We got it from here. So the top 3 most anti-Black racist countries always appear at the top according to Black travelers. China, Russia, India. After that, Ukraine, Saudi, South Korea, Spain, Libya. Yeah, I always say that. I always give China its credit in terms of their, you know, technological advancements, the way that they have structured certain parts of their economy. But this is just calling a spade a spade. That doesn't mean that, hey, you go over there and, you know, in masses, Black people are going to be able to migrate there and establish any type of power structure. You already saw what happened once they did to the Chinese billionaire. What was his name? Jack Ma or something like that. They completely buck broke dude and let him know you ain't bigger than the program. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into this thing. So in case y'all didn't know, let me go ahead and pull this up. There was another case of Black heroism. And you notice all the people that love to talk about Black on Black crime, they never want to cover actually, hold on. Let me find this story, right? They never want to cover positive Black stories, right? So there's so much stories that I can pull up of Latino, Hispanic people doing disgusting things, especially in Mexico. If you look at the 10 most dangerous countries in the world, 7 of them are Latino countries, right? But should that mean that what? I should generalize Latinos as just a violent cohort of people? No, that would be disgusting and inaccurate. But that's what people do with Black people. If some Jamaican commits a crime, that's just Black culture. It's not Caribbean culture. It's not Jamaican culture. It's this nebulous Black culture. But then when Black people do something good, it's not Black culture. If you send your beautiful Black child, they go to college and get a master's degree, that's not Black culture. But if you do have a kid and they go to jail, see, that was Black culture. Anytime you do something good, it's not Black culture. Anytime you do something bad, it is Black culture, right? So when I look at these illicit massage parlors, most of them are what? Asian. Is that Asian culture? Japan. Did you know the Japanese age of consent was 10 years old? So you can be 50 years old with a 10-year-old. You can be 60 years old with a 10-year-old. They just recently raised the age of consent to 13. This was only a couple years ago. Is that Asian culture? Technically it was. So People always try to downplay the heroism, but I'm going to get into how heroism has been a staple of American, specifically foundational Black American culture. So there's a recent story, and y'all can look this up. It just happened a few days ago. Two good Samaritans, and we want to praise these people, right? Because what happens is, if it's someone in the W community and something like this happened, they would get a book deal, they would create a movie about this. But usually when it happens and Black people are the hero, people barely talk about it. If some crusty, musty, dusty nigga in Chicago, Oakland, or Baltimore commits a drive-by, what about Chicago? What about Black on Black crime, right? We got to have all podcasts and people whining about Black fatigue and all this other stuff, right? But then when Black people are consistently and persistently engaging in acts of heroism, suddenly that's not framed as culture. It's not framed as bravery, nobility, or anything. But let's get into it, though. Two good Samaritans stop and subdue a shooter at Las Vegas Smith's grocery store. Now think about this. These men were unarmed. How many people do you know, white, Black, Hispanic, or otherwise, would challenge a shooter when they don't have a firearm? See, people say fight fire with fire. People don't say fight fire with your hands. And that's exactly what they did. So on the morning of May 12th, 2026, a deadly shooting unfolded inside Smith's grocery store at 9750 South Maryland Parkway in Las Vegas. The gunman, Alejandro Estrada, ambushed and killed Victor Frias Roses and Amanda Frias Roses, a married couple who both worked at the store. Now, why isn't this going to be framed as Latino on Latino crime? Alejandro Estrada, Latino. Victor Frias, Latino. Amanda Frias Rosas, Latino. Does anyone think that this will be framed as brown on brown crime? Latino, Hispanic on Hispanic crime? That's exactly what it is. Or is it just a deranged human being harming other human beings? Right? Why do you gotta make it about race? Oh, you mean why do I have to do exactly what you guys do all the time? When there's a shooting, right? What's the first thing people care about? What race they were. And at the same time, they're telling you, don't make it about race, but all you care about is what race the shooter was. So they both worked at the store. Estrada, 43, had a history with the victim and was facing child support contempt charges. As shoppers and employees fled, Marconi Clark, 49, a Southern California truck driver, and an Amazon delivery driver, Darius Alston. So remember when they always say, immigrants are doing the jobs that no one wants to do. They had an influx of immigrants that they had doing trucking jobs. In California, they were giving them a legal driver's license. So here you have two brothers, two foundational Black American brothers doing the jobs that they said no one wants to do. So if Black men will drive trucks, you mean to tell me that they won't do construction and they won't do plumbing and they won't do landscaping? So people got to stop with these narratives that they're doing the jobs that no one wants to do. No one will drive for Amazon. No one will drive trucks. Like, come on, we have to stop with the lies. Many of them are working in fast food. No one but them will work in fast food. I mean, who are we kidding here? So Darius Alston, a Las Vegas barber and a father of children who was helping a customer with groceries, decided to act. They didn't just look around. Usually when you hear shots fired, people say, I gotta book it. They heard shots fired and they ran towards the fire. They didn't run away. They ran towards the fire. They've never met before the incident. And this is what you call that Majara spirit and being on code. The code is the leader. They didn't have to get a call. Okay, fellas, it's okay for you to run into that store. The code was the leader. Our culture is a culture of bravery and heroism, right? So Clark, who was on break, heard multiple gunshots, saw the suspect approaching. He approached from outside the store, wrestled the gun away. So again, they don't tell you to fight fire with fist, but that's exactly what he did. He saw this deranged gunman. He didn't have no firearm, but he had his fist and he had a fiery spirit. And he said, that's enough to fight. These men should be honored with the city and should be given some sort of medal of bravery, right? How many people do you know that will go fight off a deranged gunman? Most people would have been ran away. He had his kids with him as well. So he not only feared for his life, he feared for the imminent danger that it posed to his kids and innocent bystanders. So he approached from outside the store, wrestled the gun away, and began subduing Estrada. Austin, hearing Clark's call for help, ran over and joined in, tackling and holding the suspect down until Las Vegas Metro Police arrived. Witnesses reported seeing them wrestle the gunman, keep him on the ground until officers took him into custody. Police praised the quick, coordinated response, noting they prevented further harm and secured the suspect without additional casualties. At a press conference, Clark said, "It's American values. I'm going to help any American, no matter what you look like, what race. If you say you need help, I help." That's as foundational American as it gets. And this is what we talk about. Foundational Black American heroism is American culture. Let's read that one more again. He said, it's American values. I'm going to help any American, no matter what you look like, what race. If you say you need help, I help. Do we really believe that other groups think like this? No. When Jordan Neely or Daniel Penny choked out Jordan Neely, a frail, mentally disturbed young Black man, nobody was breaking it up. People were helping him strangle this man to death. He couldn't call for help because they strangled his throat, right? So let's be honest. Most of these groups, they don't have this type of spirit to help an American, no matter what race they look like, because people, as much as they say don't make it about race, they always make it about race. Why do you think people live in these segregated racial enclaves based on race? That's not by happenstance. They socially engineered it. How do you have a Jewish neighborhood where literally everyone there is Jewish, right? No, that's socially engineered. How do you have a Chinatown when everyone there is Chinese, or at least the majority? That's social engineering, right? If this is a melting pot, why do we even need a Chinatown or a Koreatown? Why it can't just be a place where many people of Chinese descent, congregate in America? No, they have to segregate and let you know that this is exclusively Chinatown, which means that you are not going to have the same level of value as a non-Chinese person there. They're not going to be as explicit in saying that, but subtly, that's how it is, right? People already know what it is, right? If you're a non-Jewish person, do you think you have the same value? Or let's say you send your kid to a Jewish school, which, let's be honest, you're not going to get into their schools. Their schools are highly privatized and highly segregated. But if your kid was to get into the Jewish school, do you think your kid would be treated the exact same? Because remember, same means identical. Do you think your students would be treated the exact same if they went to an all Chinese school or an all Jewish school? You already know what the answer is, right? But people want to pretend as if it's American values to help anyone. No, that's the spirit that we carry, the foundational Black American Majora spirit, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pull this video up. That's been a prelude to the video. And I'm going to let y'all hear from these brothers, the heroes themselves. Let's get into it. So these are the heroes that took down the deadly shooting suspect, right? The person who committed the Latino on Latino crime, the brown on brown crime. But hold on, before I get into it, let me give a shout out. Hold on. Let's see what the chat is saying. Let me go ahead and put this up. See what the chat is talking about. He says, I am 1/4 Hawaiian, half Norwegian, the rest European mix. So on the U.S. Census, there's a box that you got to check. What box are you checking? Or do you check the white box? Do you check the Pacific Islander box? Because everyone has a mixture of something, right? And I get it. You know, I always got to preface this because people will say race is a social construct, and so is ethnicity, so is religion, so is tribe, etc., right? So since you adhere to the social construct, let's just not use that argument, right? So the U.S. Census, you have to check a box. You can't check two boxes. Now, you can check a box that says other and say, hey, I'm so much of a mixture of things, and that's why I'm going to check other. But most people don't do that. Most people narrow it down to one box, and they check that box, i.e. Jewish people. 92% of American Jews racially identify as white. There's no gun to their head forcing them to identify as that. Many of them have European ancestry, so indeed they are white because there's no race called Jewish and there's no race called Hawaiian, half Norwegian, the rest European mix. You know, I'm just using this as an example, Terry Rosario. But do you check that you're white, Asian, Pacific Islander? Just curious. And you said we good on that. I didn't side with anything. My family is full of activists. Stop assuming your live is delayed, but have a nice one. I wasn't assuming. I was just going off, you know, what you put. And you came in with the cape, but thanks for letting me know, though. Leave the Latinos alone. They are better than the blacks. Okay. So why are you here? Go to a Latino space then, since I'm sure the Latino space would be better. So why are you here again, Glenn Robertson? So if I see you leave another comment, don't worry. I'm going to get you up out of here so that way you can go join a Latino space. And Frank Rice says, yeah, better fruit pickers. Who exactly are you referring to? And Roger says, the left talks about how great China is in building out its infrastructure, Belt and Road Initiative, while the right denies it. But no one is talking about the reason why China is able to do all that is because they lack their environmental regulations. And as a result, their ecological infrastructure is breaking down due to consistent encroachment on the natural environment. You can imagine what diseases that might sprout later on this century due to the nature keeping those viruses, pathogens, antigens at bay. And shout out to the Florida family, sunlight from the Sunshine State, shining brighter than a diamond in a building. Florida, what it did it do, checking in. And this person says, psychology, how to tell your children how much you care for, then answer interracial marriage. Ask any interracial child the secret of hearts, and they will say, no one cared about me. I think there is something to say, but when you talk about interracial childs and marriages, the only people that care about interracial childs and mixed children are black people. Every mixed child automatically gets labeled as black. You know what I mean? Even though a lot of them don't even want to be labeled as black. Look at someone like Sage Steele. She is throwing a tirade. Why should I have to be labeled as black? I'm mixed and I don't want to erase my other side. And then people say, fine, you're mixed. We'll call you mixed. You're not black. And then it flips in. You can't gatekeep blackness. See, that's the problem with the black community. Colorism. It's like, that wasn't about colorism. You have an identity crisis. And we said, fine. You don't want to be black. You want to be labeled as mixed or biracial. Fine. It's just like I told you with the box, right? If you check the black box, that means that's how you self-identify. If you check the other box or the box that says 2 or more races, You're saying you identify as something other than black. And then when people treat you as an other, not to say they disrespect you, not to say they hate you, they just treat you as an outsider because you self-identify as an outsider. And then people start whining and acting all confused. Like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods said he wasn't black. He tried to call himself Cannibal Asian or something like that, saying that he didn't want to erase the heritage of his mother. But then as soon as he gets an accolade on behalf of being black, he's okay with accepting that. He won't go up to the award person. Even when Trump was parading him around as a black man, he didn't say, "Hey, Trump, I'm an Asian man," or "I'm a mixed race man." No, he gets the Tiger Woods, black golfer, black this, black that, black that. And then we say he ain't black, he's biracial. See, that's the problem with the black community. Colorism. That had nothing to do with colorism. The days are over where we're trying to force someone to self-identify, because remember, it's a social construct. When you're talking about social, you're talking about society. When you're talking about society, you're talking about people. In order for the construct to be socially accepted, that means that people have to accept and adhere to it. But since it's a social construct, it can be fluid, which is why Italians and Irish people weren't white. And then, you know what? The social construct became fluid and pliable. And they say, you know what? They are white. So it's the same thing too, right? With a mixed person, right? You were considered mulatto, octoroon, quadroon, biracial, and all this stuff. And some said, I ain't biracial, I'm black. And others said, no, I'm not black, I'm biracial. So we said, fine, you're something other than what we are. We'll still love you and treat you with respect, but we're not the same. But now we're supposed to be convinced that we are the same. You know, so it gets pretty heavy. But let's hear from the heroes, though.
Darius Austin, DARIUS ALSTON.
Mercani Clark, MERCONIE, Clark, CLARK.
Guys, we're here outside the scene of a grocery store turned crime scene. And we understand that you guys were there and something really incredible happened. What happened today?
Here you go. All right.
In the grocery store, buying some stuff for my truck. About to go deliver a load later today. Pass him on the beverage aisle. I'm going this way. He's coming that way. I'm on my way on the checkout. I hear 2 to 3 shots. Bam, bam. Immediately, I go down to my knees, and I look around. I see a lot of people running. Employees running, customers running, and I don't really believe it. Then I hear another ring of shots, probably around 5 to 6. Bah, 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 bah. That's when I go between the checkout counter, hop over the little out gate thing, and I hit to the right. I didn't even see him no more in the store. As I'm on to the right, a bunch of customers and employees are coming out, and I'm like, get to the side. Get to the side. So I'm telling everybody to get farther towards the pharmacy part where they come in. I'm like, come over here. So for some reason, one of the employees, a lady that works there, that I didn't even know who she was. She was in a gray shirt. She yelled out, "There is a shooter." So while she yells out, "There's a shooter," I don't know what happened. I just walked over there towards him. He pulled out his gun. We're rough. We're wrestling for the gun. I'm trying to keep it from pointing to me. He's trying to point it this way, point it that way. So as I grab the gun, we fall to the ground, and that's when I'm like, help, help. So I'm pulling the gun away from him. That's when he comes over, hits him, strikes him, keeps him on the ground. I've moved all the weapons.
So I'm going to play more of the story, but salute to this brother right here. He heard the shots rang out. He didn't look. He kind of went looking for the dude. So this is a extreme act of bravery. If somebody seen a deranged person swinging a baseball bat, they wouldn't intervene. Most people wouldn't. If you've seen a deranged person with a knife, most people won't intervene. This person heard the people, shots rang out, body, blood, guts, and gore on the floor. And he still went and said, you know what? I need to protect innocent lives. That's what our culture is. Heroism is foundational Black American culture, right? People always want to talk about rap videos, degeneracy, and twerking and things like that. And after this story, I'm going to pull up. We have a history of fighting, not just for our community. We have been fighting to uplift everyone. The rising tide lifts all boats. Yeah, we've been the ones fighting for that. All these other groups fight for ethnic specificity, right? What Native Americans are fighting to uplift foundational Black Americans? They have over 500 plus federally recognized tribes, all fighting for specific ethnic sovereignty, right? Choctaws are not fighting to uplift Cherokees. Cherokees are not fighting to uplift Navajo and Seminoles. You know what I mean? Chinese people are not fighting to uplift Koreans. Koreans are not fighting to uplift Filipinos. But with us, we fight and uplift everyone and still get called a nigger in the process, right? When we do civil rights, that's an all lives matter policy. Civil rights is universal policy, and people are still against civil rights. You got Latinos fighting for Chicano rights. I'm not a Chicano. So how would a Chicano right help me? It doesn't. But civil rights helps Chicanos, helps Koreans, helps Arabs, helps Muslims, helps Jewish people, helps Hindus. When we fight for everybody, and we don't get anything but someone flipping us off and calling us nigger. Meanwhile, people will be willing to fight tooth and nail to help an undocumented citizen before they help a foundational Black American. We don't look and wait. Oops, is that a Black person? Can't help them. We help undocumented immigrants. We help legal immigrants. We help Black people, white people, purple people, yellow people. And all these people collectively say, yeah, we don't like you niggas. It's unfortunate, right? But that's why we have to cover stories like this. Bravery and heroism is our culture. And this interview, you're hearing from the heroes themselves.
And pull him away from him. I didn't even know until after I pulled the bag of weapons away from him. He had other weapons in the in his backpack.
There you
so
go.
Yeah.
So I was actually leaving my barbershop, coming here to help my girl out get sodas. I got a barbershop right here, Diamond Cuts Barbershop. So as I was leaving there, I was coming this way, and I noticed we get to the checkout line and just.
If y'all in that area, go support the bro barbershop, Diamond Cuts Barbershop. I'm gonna have to look that up. Shout out to bro. Go put some money in his pocket.
Shots firing off, bow, bow, bow. So I had my two little ones with me. So what got me was, when I seen that happen, I'm like, okay, so I get them all to cover. I get them outside. So as my girl, she's like, oh, I left my phone and my keys. So I go back in there and try to receive her property. So as I'm getting it, I see her, the lady, the worker, she's like, oh, that's the gunman right there. Watch out. So I'm over here. I'm trying to get it for cover now. So when I seen that, so I noticed Clark, he walks up and he grabs the dude like he's trying to get the gun away from him. So when I seen Clark, I go over there and I'm helping Clark out now, because now Clark's life is in danger. So now I go to help Clark out. Boom. So when we get him on the ground and all that stuff, Clark pushes his bags out of the way, gets his guns away from there and everything. I'm still on there beating this guy up, kicking him up.
That's all we want to do is
beating him, everything. Just trying to get him away from this bag.
Because he tried to get back up.
Just to try to get away from the bag. As soon as we did that, the cops pull up. Boom. They all flying around. They pull up. We stopped what we was doing, and they took in their hands.
Yeah, they got here quick.
Real quick.
I see. Can you show us your hands? Oh, yeah. Can you just hold your hand up for us? What happened?
This was from me keeping him from pointing the gun at me because we was wrestling. And after he pulled it out of his shirt, I'm holding the gun, keeping the barrel pointed away from me. He's trying to point it towards me. I'm trying to pull it away from him. As I'm doing that, I'm making sure the weapon is not pointed at me. As we're struggling, that's when I turned over sideways like this, and that's how I got this.
He got scraped all up on the shoulder.
And as that happened, if he wouldn't have came to help,
Clark would have been gone.
Yeah, I would have been gone.
Clark would have been gone.
I had the gun in my hand, trying to keep it from him from pulling it. After I fell with the gun, he came.
Man, this is an amazing story, bro. So two unarmed brothers, right? These two were truck drivers. One dude had his family with them. He ran and got his kids to safety because they always talk about black deadbeat fathers. Here was a father who was with his wife and with his kids. He got his kids to safety. His wife forgot her phone and her keys. He went back into the danger. He went into a perilous situation to retrieve her items. Probably they needed the keys to either leave or maybe the keys were to their house, right? He went back in there knowing there's still a gunman on the prowl. And then he sees an unarmed black man fighting off this gunman, attacking the gunman. And then he didn't say, hey, I'm waiting for a leader. The code was the leader. The the heroism and the bravery was the leader. He ran over there and assisted the dude. The dude called for help. He said, I'm going to help the dude. I don't care what race he is. I'm going to help. This man is slaughtering innocent people. I don't care. I'm going to help. This is part of our culture, right? When people want to frame all of these disgusting and degenerate parts of our culture, which every ethnic group has what some would call deplorable parts of their population or culture, right? Why will we uplift the disgusting, but at the same time be silent when we have acts of bravery? This isn't black bravery. This is American bravery from people who happen to be foundational black Americans. So let's see what this person says. We just need to be thankful the white man allows us to be on his earth and breathe his air, even though we don't deserve it. And going back for a phone after that sounds like a dumb ninja to me. So here we have a troll here because Gerald, I'm going to just go ahead and get you up out of here. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to just put you in a timeout because I don't have time for the low IQ comments from the lunatics. But if any of you lunatics, if any of y'all want to hit the link and y'all believe that you got, this is for anybody that has black fatigue. All the people that hate black people, I just dropped the link. All the people that hate black people and you think that black people are not heroic and you think black people don't have a culture, hit the link. What about black on black crime, right? All those people hit the link. I've dropped the link multiple times. All these people got all the smoke to say in the chat. I drop the link and then they get silent. We got idiots and moist maniacs like Gerald Elston who won't even show their face, but they'll come over here and start whining. So go ahead, bro. Like I said, I'm giving you an opportunity. If you just gonna keep whining in the chat and leaving these trollish comments, I'm gonna just get you up out of here. You know, I'll put you on the big screen. I dropped the link. If you're unwilling to discuss or debate, then you're gonna have to get up out of here. So let's just get back into the video. Now, you see, you know, I have an influx of low IQ lunatics who like to come and disrupt the stream, but you know what? I ain't gonna let them. We're talking about heroism and bravery right now. So let's get back into these foundational black American brothers who saved the innocent lives from a deranged Latino gunman. Let's get back into it.
We struck him.
Struck him and it was
took
over.
the gun, got away from him, got the bag, didn't know, like I said previous.
And talk about, you know, this is a horrific situation you probably never expect to be in. Why was the first instinct to not run out, but to really get in there and help everybody?
Because if we would have let him go, say to this KFC, it would have been over for KFC.
Yeah.
Who knows what was on that guy's mind that day?
Yeah,
today.
I knew. As soon as the employee had said, "This is the guy,"
Yep.
I was
it
not
was over with. Yeah, it was over with.
Like,
you have to.
I'm not
you got to
gonna
step up to the plate.
No, that's not what we do. I'm gonna sit here and try to protect the next people because I have kids. We all have kids. We all have family. It would be on my heart if he would have went to KFC and I ran, and he did something.
And what struck me the most was my little ones was right there where he was firing the shots off. So that's what made me black out and do whatever I had to do.
You shot in front of my
I said you shot in front of my kid. You shot in front of my kid. That's what made me just black out and did whatever I did to him.
Did you?
Hey, shout out to these brothers. This is how you stand on business. And shout out to M. Hampton. And we got someone in the back. This person, I don't know if I'm gonna bring you up because it's like you might have to cam up. You might have to cam up because I don't know who you is, Nitro 215. But M. Hampton says, YT folks and immigrants' obsession of foundational Black Americans is strong that we live rent-free in their heads. It's weird, sickening, and pathetic. I would concur, right? They always talk about Black fatigue, but that's all they talk about. Their content wouldn't flourish unless they're talking about us, right? Think about it, right? You're so tired of us, but you're constantly whining about us. Imagine if you have fatigue of anything. I got fatigue of sushi, but you eat sushi every day. I got fatigue of the NFL, but all you do is watch NFL football games. I got fatigue of Black people, but all you do is share Black fight videos looking for things to whine about Black degeneracy. Like you're seeking out Black people and Black crime and Black stories. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay, cool. So we had Nitro in the building. So so what's up, Nitro? Like, was you one of the trolls in the chat or what?
Negative, sir. Negative. I'm all FBA, baby. I'm with you on this one, bro.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. FBA Nation all day. I'm in Philly, baby. 215, baby.
Oh, that's what's okay. That's what's up. Hey, because Nitro, I was about to hit you with this.
Hope, please. Nigga, please. Hope.
Nigga, what?
Nigga, please. Nigga, please. What?
I almost hit you with one of those, but then when I was like, okay,
John, you coming that day next out here. I see you. I'm like, damn, it was like that Cali. Hold up. Let me go grab a seat real quick. Yo, boy, definitely, you know, I'm a little concerned, brother. I'm a little concerned. We have to find out. I'm not sure we got Chud, right? We took care of that. We said, hey,
yeah,
y'all not gonna take care of this? All right, we'll handle it. And then it's like, now my boys out in Vegas. Hey, we got an active shooter. You're not gonna handle it? All right, we'll handle that too. All right, we need to figure out. They need to get the fathers out of these white homes. We need to check on the music that they're listening to. This is getting out of control.
And peep this, Nitro. I always ask them, and hold on, I got to give a shout out to the lovely Flavor Sweet, Houston, Texas, H-Town, where it goes down in the building. Salute to Flavors of Sweet. But I'm totally with you, Nitro, and this is what the story was about. You know, I'm actually gonna pull it up, bro. Because they was actually really disrespecting, especially the FBA men. They was saying, man, Chud making y'all look soft and all this other stuff, but bro was going to specific areas, right? He was putting the mic in front of teenagers. This dude is a grown man, almost 30, harassing teenagers and stuff. And then
what we found out about that was he was actually in the tourist area. He wasn't nowhere near the hood. He wasn't doing none of that anywhere. But then he was like asking people who were like older or people that were like already working.
Exactly.
And so
yeah.
He wasn't really out there like getting active because somebody will. Because we're not with people. I don't know what people thinking right now. They're thinking because we're not in the streets marching for stupid stuff. And we ain't worrying about illegals. We ain't worrying about none of that. But don't think for a minute. There's a lot of, let me tell you, dog. A lot of people on a lot of these pages, from Black Alpha to Afro Elite to Jason Black, they out here putting it out. But the women out here, the FBA women, they are killing it right now. They are killing it on the
name a few for the people.
You got Wani Spots is murdering everything. If y'all
shout
get
out to Wani
on TikTok,
I know
Wani
the sister
is a
Brooke.
Monster. Brooke up in New York.
She been standing on business. When the Ghana tried to pull the finesse. I love the sister Vicky Dillard and Demetra K.
Yes. Listen, all the scholars are out here putting in work, and this is what y'all see.
And peep this, Nitro. I like the way you shout out the FBA sisters because cats that be in the manosphere and the coonosphere, they want you to convince that every Black chick is running around wearing a bonnet, twerking on a car in the middle of the hood. You see what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, in order to have a strong nation, a strong community and people, you need strong women, right? You know what I mean? So you can't demonize the women and then start complaining about the community. Bruh, you tearing down the women. If you tearing down the women, you tearing down the kids, bruh. So it's like, come on, bro, get it together.
Any woman that's respectable, she got protection out here. We're not going for none of that disrespecting our women out here. People think because all y'all hear on the internet is all the intellectuals pounding y'all out with the intellectual knowledge and this and that, and they killing y'all with the facts, and y'all can't even handle it. But y'all better not forget, there's still a get active class out here. There's still a get active class out here at FBAs, and we sitting back, we chilling, we watching everybody get work, but they putting in work out here now. Be careful, we out here. We ain't need no guns or nothing in Vegas.
Yeah, and this is what I was trying to say, bruh. I don't know any group, especially no group that ain't foundational Black American, where if somebody see a dude with a baseball bat swinging and beating people, most people ain't gonna try to intervene. If somebody is a deranged knife person, most people ain't gonna try to intervene. This dude had a gun. He already had bodied 2 people, so it's blood, guts, and brains on the floor, and still the FBA said hell no. I'm gonna play a little bit more of the video, but they said no. I had my kids. I'm a father. They said that
disrespect. Did you pull out a gun in front of my kids? I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You got me? No, you don't do that. I'll be right back. Where the ball at? Where he at? Aisle 7? Here I come. Here I come.
Hey, these was the hero bulls right here.
But they don't understand. Like, even if, just like I was telling the other brothers, like, listen, even as FBAs, if we out and about and we just chilling and we ain't too many of us, the brothers will look at each other. You know the head nod, give you the head nod. Like,
bro, the head nod.
You already
exactly.
Know. We got our own thing that we do. Y'all may not be with it. Y'all may not know.
And you know, we invented the dap too. The head knob is that's our thing too, and the dap too. I'm gonna do a whole string about the dap,
man.
Yeah,
everything in this country is our culture. This country don't move, don't got a pulse if we ain't here.
And that's why I always say there would be no USA without FBA. This is unequivocal. And actually, while I'm speaking of that, I'm gonna have to hit y'all with some scholarship, because we had some trolls in here earlier. That's why I was asking. That's why I didn't want to bring you straight up, because it was some trolls. They was getting mad because I called out. You feel me? They talking about black on black crime, right? So this dude who was the gunman, it was a Latino who shot other 2 Latinos. Nobody is calling it Latino on Latino crime. Nobody is calling it brown on brown crime. That's exactly what it was, right? But if 2 musty niggas in Philly that I don't know, then they talking about, oh, you got to take accountability. I'm in Cali, bro, in the Bay Area, bro. How the hell I'm gonna take accountability for some niggas in Philly doing a drive-by that I don't know?
Bro, but then you gotta understand, some of these Hispanics classify themselves as white.
Yeah, because I always say this all the time. There's no race called Hispanic. There's no race called Latino.
Exactly.
They classify themselves. Yeah, they classify themselves as white because many of them actually are white. There's Black Hispanics, there's Asian Hispanics, there's white Hispanics. Even on the census, it will say, are you a non-white Hispanic? So if they're asking you if you're a non-white Hispanic, then that means there's white Hispanics. This is not even rocket science, bro. Anyone can just type in right now, is Latino a race? And you're going to see that it says no. So, do you know who the actress Cameron Diaz is?
Yeah, little Spanish looking dip.
Yeah, you said the thing, Spanish looking, but she's also white. So she can be Latino, which she is, and she can be white, because that's no race. It's an ethnic identifier. Cameron Diaz, when people see her, people be like, oh, that's just another white girl. And then other people be like, oh, well, that's just a Latina girl. Yeah, that's what she is, a white Latina. You got to say it completely. You know what I mean? But let's talk about these sacrifices, because like I said, heroism is foundational Black American culture, which means it's American culture. Let's just talk about the military valor and service. And don't worry, I'm going to hit y'all with the scholarship. Let me make it a little bit bigger for y'all, just in case y'all can't see. So, James Anderson Jr. at 20 years old. What was most cats doing at 20 years old? In the club, getting high, you feel me? Young, dumb, and full of cum. Not James Anderson Jr. at 20 years old became the first Black Marine. Could y'all even pass the Marine testing now? No. So the first Black Marine to receive the Medal of Honor for his actions in the Vietnam War. On February 28th, 1967, he threw himself on an enemy grenade. sacrificing his life to shield the Marines around him. How were black people being treated in 1967? How were they being treated by their own country, their own army in 1967? They still treated them as like lower than 3/5 of a human, as niggas. And guess what? James Anderson Jr. at 20 years old, his whole life ahead of him, said, I gotta save my squad. And he jumped on a grenade, sacrificing his whole life. This foundational black heroism is American culture, is ingrained, entrenched in every fabric and fiber of this country. Sergeant William H. Carney, born into slavery, earned the Medal of Honor as the first Black American to do so during the Civil War's Battle of Fort Wagner. Though shot multiple times, he never let the American flag touch the ground. So they feeling him. If y'all seen Denzel on Training Day, they riddled his body with bullets and he did not let the American flag touch the ground. So all of these people that want to flee their homeland and say, why y'all love the flag so much? We love the flag because the flag is draped and drenched in foundational Black American blood. There was a foundational Black American who had a hand in sewing the original American flag. We don't have any other flags to fly except for a FBA flag and a Black American heritage flag. All three of those flags represent our homeland, which is in America. So y'all got Nigerian flags to fly. Y'all got Cuban and Haitian and Bolivian and Venezuelan flags to fly. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. But we only have an American flag to fly, which we hold with honor. And people want to convince us that because if we are embracing our homeland and American culture and the American flag, that somehow we co-sign the American imperialism and we co-sign American destabilizing other regions. No, that's not what it means to us. We're talking about our contributions. We're talking about our foundation to the country and to the flag. And if America was so bad, then why are you trying to flee here? Why do y'all like American flag? It's like if the flag is so bad and the country is so disgusting because of U.S. imperialism, why are you fighting tooth and nail to get over here? Exactly. So they want us to hate our country. We fought, bled, and died to be here, and then they want us to hate it, and then go what? Go to their homeland that they fled from? Make it make sense, bro.
Bro, you're absolutely right, man. It's like they want us to, they just be mad because they this our homeland. Y'all mad because we're not immigrants. All that trying to make us scared. That's it, my friend, let me say something. After they get us, they're coming to get you. Where am I getting deported to? They gonna come get me. Hey, Nitro, get in the truck. All right, Ron, what's happening? We're gonna deport you. Where you going? Back to Virginia with you. Ah, shit. Let me call my cousin. Where am I going? All my people from here. We not immigrants. Sorry, we're not going with y'all. And another thing they mad about, just like what you did, that story right there. I remember that story. The problem also is we got heroes. We got people who are the pictures and images around the world.
That sparks the discussion of why they're mad at Drewski. Because you know about that most recent Drewski skit, right?
Yeah, the UK boys, right?
Right. So they're pissed and then they're trying to say, hey, y'all wasn't the only ones enslaved, and like, y'all trying to gatekeep and stuff. It's like, bruh, and I always tell them this. Okay, if they try to say slavery was everywhere, where are the white slavery movies, right? Isn't that what they say? Everybody was a slave. Okay, fine. Show me the white-centered slave movies. You haven't seen them. And then if slavery was everywhere, where are the Caribbean slave movies? They're always trying to depict the foundational Black American chattel slave story and then say, we were slaves too. Okay, fine. Tell your own slave story.
Somalians is telling a different story. Somalians is now calling us slaves, babies. And then I was just in a room where they was like, yeah, y'all just mad because y'all slave babies. Everybody in the room got quiet. Like, that's supposed to be a knock? Like,
that's supposed to be a dig?
So is that what your new thing is?
Hey, but peep this.
Y'all trying phrases out now.
No, but this is my thing, though. Let's just say, I got a debate and an argumentative tactic, and it's called CTP, concede the point. But of course, this is done condescendingly, tongue-in-cheek, facetiously, right? Let's just say that we were slave babies, right? So we have a historical track record of why we may be falling behind in, certain aspects, right? Because we were racially targeted, we were enslaved and all this other stuff, right? And these people want to tout their chest that they weren't enslaved. Okay, so what's your excuse?
Yeah, y'all
Somalia right now is
y'all wasn't oppressed.
Yeah, that's my whole point, right? We can see, okay, cool. Like we had multiple Black Wall Streets burned down. There was mass incarceration, sharecropping, debt peonage, Jim Crow, lynchings and stuff, right? And we're still fighting. None of this happened. None of this happened to y'all. So y'all should be doing way better.
That's why we don't care about what y'all talking about. Y'all can't break us. Y'all come to mess with us. Y'all can't break us. What are you talking about?
And peep this. We've been the minority. They are the overwhelmingly majority in their homeland, and they can't get it together. And this is not to disparage or denigrate. This is just kind of is what it is. They come over here and crap on us, right? And we're the last people that you want to roast with. Like, that's part of our culture. Just like heroism, roasting is part of our culture because we've been through so much degradation and disenfranchisement that we had to kind of clown on each other to be able to even mentally cope. It was a form of escapism. However, it did make us more solidified.
White folk would always try to test us. They will always try to trick you out your spot, to get you to lose your job, to get you to get out of character. These are tools that we made so you can think in your skin, so they can say whatever they gotta say, and you can still move forward, take care of your family, and not worry about that at that time. You know when to do and when not to do. We had to learn through the fire. They didn't. I just found out. Did you know it's more Jamaicans in the United States than there is in Jamaica?
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Like somehow that's you're supposed to be proud of that, right? No, I'm still representing. It's like, bro, representing your homeland. You know what I mean? Like I don't. That's the flag, because that's all they seem to represent is the flag. And this person says America is on top of the Caribbean. Like, what are you trying to say, Gary? Could you elaborate? Because sometimes people leave these vague comments and I don't really know what they're trying to say. So I don't really want to assume
America is on top of all the depending on how you meant that. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of
like we holding you down. We ain't holding y'all down. The Chinese people is beating up on your bumper clock. It's Chinese people speaking Jamaican. What is that?
Bro, they said they're just as Jamaican as Bob Marley, as any Rastafarian. They're over there beating them over the head with bamboo sticks, and a bunch of Jamaicans, they're not saying anything. They're saying, oh, well, we're a melting pot, so fine. Hold your own nuts.
Jamaica. They brought kung fu to Jamaica. They put hands and feet on y'all.
Hey, Gary, the link is out there. I'm tired of people just kind of babbling incoherently in the chat, bro. I got time today, bro. The link is down there, bro. Just come up. You were the only one who came up. That's why I thought you was a troll, because it was a bunch of cats trolling in the chat. I dropped the link, and then they didn't want. Now they're not trolling anymore. See, they want you to just keep letting them troll, but then when I mean, like, come on here, bro, like let's just have a discussion.
The part is that
it's the low IQ lunatics,
and we're not making up stuff. That's the crazy part that's messing them up. You can talk crazy about whatever you want to say, but y'all making up stuff. Well, when we talk about y'all homeland, this stuff is actually happening there. Y'all running around eating barbecue hiana and pickled giraffe necks and all that. Listen, man, it's happening over there.
I mean, it's happening over here. There was a story of that person that was like trying to smuggle bushmeat into Michigan. Do you remember that story?
The bushmeat smuggling thing is actually a real thing. There's a process.
No, that's what I'm telling you. This actually happened in Michigan. Did you hear about that story?
I actually heard a girl in the space. She actually
it happened
broke
last
down
year.
The process. She said the process for her to get bushmeat. They was like, wait, what? You can get.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now because, like I said,
they gotta dry the meat out. The meat can't have no moisture. They're like, yo, what are you getting over here? She lives in Baltimore. She's getting monkey meat.
Yeah, look at this right here. I pull it up. Like I said, bro, like cats get triggered when I say stuff, but I always make it clear. YouTube, because YouTube be tripping, right? This is a disclaimer. This is not to denigrate or disparage. This is factually based, right? Tell me where the lie is. So look at this. And this was last year, recent U.S. Customs Border Protection. So it said Michigan have highlighted the illegal importations of bush meat from wild animals such as bats, non-human primates, and rodents, which is banned in the United States due to serious disease risk. So in July 2025, which was last year, agents intercepted bushmeat twice within 1 week. So the first incident was 11 pounds of rodent meat from Togo, West Africa. Wow. The second incident, 52 pounds of primate meat, possibly sun-tailed.
I got the monkey meat.
Yep.
I told you.
Yeah, they said it was possibly sun-tailed monkey. So not just any monkey, a sun-tailed monkey. And this was from Gabon.
Like, monkey meat is the greatest thing on the world. They're like, yo, how will you get it? She said it takes her 2 months to get it. They have to completely dry the meat out before they ship it, or it'll have like maggots or whatever. She said it gets, sometimes they don't come because then something will happen to the shipment, but they are ordering it in Baltimore.
Yeah, because they've had an influx of immigrant populations in most of these places. I mean, that's no foundational. It's eating bush meat.
Hell no. Yo,
and this is why they try to say this is a nation of immigrants, so we got to import bush meat for immigrants. I mean, prove me wrong, right? I don't know any St. Louis barbecue places that are barbecuing bush meat. Texas is known for its barbecue. Do they barbecue bush meat, right? So I'm just saying, like, this is something, these are for when the people come over here and they want to try to, they call them transplants. They want to come to a new country and try to create a recreation of their homeland, which is why you have Chinatowns, Little Havana, Little Korea, and all this stuff. They're transplants. They want to transform whatever country they're in into, back home. Listen, as close to it as they can.
I already got I'm trying to get the store. I'm gonna try to holler at Tariq. I'm gonna try to holler. I'm trying to open up my store, man. I'm trying to get these jerk leopard legs on point. I'm trying to get listen, I'm gonna have my store is gonna be on and popping, man. I'm gonna have
what kind of store you gonna have? Oh, okay.
Man,
hold on, Gary.
All types of fresh bush meat, man. All the fresh bush meat I'm gonna have. I'm gonna have all the fresh bush meat.
And Gary is acting confused. Hold on. Gary is acting confused. He talking about hit the link. Why? Because you popping it in the chat. That's what I said. I'm going to give you the floor. You're going to be able to speak uninterrupted. And this is why they start acting confused. They got all this stuff to say. I dropped the link and then they're talking about why. Gary, why are you acting confused? But he said Americans eat bush meat too.
Come on. Oh my God! So, here you gonna talk about?
I don't doubt that Americans eat bush meat, but what Americans are you talking about? Legal immigrants are Americans, so like, what are you talking about? I'm not saying that there's no native born
bush meat, man.
And what places could you? If bush meat is illegal, what places could you eat bush meat? And Gary, if you
only
eat
talking
bush
about the
meat,
people in the South that eat the possum. That's the only thing he's talking about.
Yeah. And I know about that.
You ain't talking about no alligators because that's down in Louisiana, so everybody ain't eating it. So what are you talking about? Ain't no alligators.
But is alligator bush meat?
Yeah, right. That's in the water. Like that's in the water. That's still seafood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't none of that in Philly. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this person says people of color aren't oppressed or discriminated against. At best, they experience inconvenience. Well, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't use the term people of color. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I don't even know. And this is why the terms even get confused. And even with the whole Chud the Builder thing, right? Like some of the news stories, they were saying Chud the Builder was going around antagonizing people of color. No, he was antagonizing black people. You feel me? He wasn't going around to people of color calling them niggers and stuff like that. So it's like, just even that term is just a form of ethnic and cultural erasure, because you don't even know who the hell they're talking about. And then it's supposed to be framed as if we have
foundational Black American is kicking they ass, bro. That term, foundational Black American, you can't tether on to it. You can't figure out a way to backdoor in it. You can't even have a conversation with the FBA without you getting checked from the yard. Like, yo, let me see your paperwork. And we know once if I ask you where you're from, you're like, why does that matter, Tether? You're a foreigner.
Yeah, because
you're a foreigner. You're a foreigner.
As soon as that, because look, for instance, right, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from a small town called Pittsburgh, right? But I'll just use a city like Oakland because that's more known to people who are not from Cali, right? Just in Cali, right? If somebody just be like, I'm from Oakland. First of all, if somebody asks, hey, what state you from? Cali. That's not enough. Yeah, but what part of Cali? Northern Cali. That's not enough. Okay, what city you from? Oakland. That ain't enough. I'm from East Oakland. Nah, that ain't enough. Okay, I'm from the Murder Dub. You feel me? Like it just keeps going on and on, which is why if you from Philly, then you know about battle rap, right? This is why they was pressing Easy the Block Captain, because he was saying, oh, I'm from Germantown, and then he named the address, and that's like, nigga, that ain't in Germantown. Like, they was pressing them because they want to know precisely, because Cass could say, bro, I'm from 37th and Jefferson, right? I used to live right over here by the corner store. You know where Lil Haji had the mark. Like we don't have an issue stomping and stepping from where we from. So when people ask you where you from and you say, I'm from America, right? It's like asking a Philly bull and he say he from Pennsylvania. Like, come on, bruh.
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing to do with me. Pennsylvania big as hell. People don't understand. Pennsylvania is big as I don't know what, bro. Like, y'all, there's a whole other football team at the top of it. Philadelphia is its own world. When I say it's its own world, we don't give it up like nobody in the surrounding counties. Philadelphia, when you come to Philly, it's like, oh, what happened? You in Philly now. That's what happened. So yeah, you can say you're from Philly. What part? Oh, the east side of Philly. You ain't from Philly because ain't no east side. You people think like, well, it's a west side and it's a South Philly, it's a West Philly. Why ain't it East Philly? Because it ain't. So they be like, yeah. So
but hold on,
you wouldn't know that.
Where was Fresh Prince from?
West Philly, West Philadelphia, born
and raised. No, I thought you just said it was no West Philly.
No, there was no East Philly.
Oh, my bad. I heard that wrong. I was like, hold on. That's why I asked you. I was like, hold on. Wasn't Will Smith?
Yeah, you'll never say you're from East Philly. There's nobody. There's no part of East Philly. None of that. But then you got to understand also. Yeah, it's like, yo, where are these Africans?
Exactly.
The Africans are secluded up in the southwest part of Philly. They got a little enclave right there, and that's where all the Africans are.
Oh, they in the southwest? Ain't that where like Meek and Beanie Siegel from, or where?
No. Beanie Siegel's from South Philly. Meek is from North. That's up there where Reed Dollars is from. And
shout out to Reed.
Name in them? Yeah, Reed Dollars is from Southwest, up around that area. That's over there. That's the whole Woodland Avenue. They got like a whole little strip over there. That's where the Africans are secluded at. They not all up and through the hoods and all. No, they right there and they spot. They come off the boat, off the plane, and they go straight there.
So Gary says his Florida. Gary is trying to challenge you on the saying Americans eat bushmeat. So he started talking about snake. He talking about a squirrel and frog legs. And then he said his Florida FBA neighbor showed him chitlins and frog legs. Is chitlins bushmeat? Is frogs bushmeat?
How is chitlins bushmeat and chitlins coming from an actual farm animal? And ain't nobody running around here chasing around no goddamn squirrel. That's them white folks in them. Listen, man, that's them folks.
And the homeless cats. I ain't gonna lie.
What they call?
I've seen some homeless cats in Cali. They killed some squirrels, made them little rotisserie squirrels.
BB guns.
Airsoft
country
BBs.
Boys be out there and they shoot squirrels and they eat them. That's what they do out there. The YT boys out there that be bored, ain't doing nothing when their sister ain't home. That's what they do. That ain't us.
Hey, Gary said, do the Africans got it lit out there in Philly?
What you think, Gary?
That's why I told bro to hit the link.
You see where these people live at in their homeland. You think they gonna make, even though they got the advantages over here, you think that area, it looked damn near ran down the way Dan over there look.
And Lauren says, if Africans don't stand for their people and wealth, different countries will own them. I try to educate what African and island brothers I talk to who live in Florida. And this is what I'm trying to say. This is the point when you said most of the Jamaicans live outside of Jamaica. So what do you think Jamaica is going to be, right? It's like if most Israelis lived outside of Israel. I don't like Bibi Netanyahu, but Bibi Netanyahu is in Israel standing on business for Israel. He wouldn't be able to do that if he was in Russia and all these other places. Imagine a nigga saying, I'm the king of Philly, but he's always in Jersey, or forget Jersey, he's always in Utah. I'm the king of Philly. Nigga, in order for you to be the king of Philly, you need to be standing on business in Philly. You need to be, doing on your state property thing. And I'm just being a little facetious with that. You don't got to be running around killing people, but y'all get my point, right? The state property niggas was in Philly. You have to be able to see people. Imagine you a father, right? And you I'm the man of the house, and you want to discipline your kids, but you got to do it through a Zoom meeting. You got to do it through a phone call. Your kids ain't gonna be listening to you, bruh. So how you gonna be the king?
Yeah, man. Yep.
But this is what the Jamaicans want to do. We gonna build up Jamaica by standing America. How are you going to build up Jamaica? That's why the Chinese is taking it over. That's why the cruise ships is taking it over. There's nobody there to fight. There's no FBA, or there's no people that have that FBA spirit. If we got FBAs that are willing to stand up to gunmen when they're unarmed, why won't y'all stand up for your homeland, bro? I just can't get it, bro.
Matter, man. I do get it. Our heart beat different. Y'all may call us slave babies or whatever. That's forced through the fire. We done been through stuff passed down through the blood. The blood moved different. Some people, when they
blood actually is different now,
and it is different. So when stuff be happening outside, you got people that go on fight or flight. Some people ain't. But when the guns start going off, some people run, and some people get closer to the danger. Especially if you got something to protect. If you ain't used to it, you want to tuck tail and run. If you ain't even from this country and you used to running, if something happened over here, people was like, man, I'm going to get out here. I'm going up to Canada. That's what you used to doing. FBAs, we ain't running nowhere from nobody. You could come over here if you want. That's what I said. Like, bruh, these little other immigrants in the cities and all that, y'all talk. This is, like I said, me being exposed to the internet and how the rooms are and the lives are, and I got to hear these other ethnicities and people from other countries, how bad they talk about Black Americans. I got to actually hear it. But I'm like, I don't hear none of this stuff in the street. Y'all don't talk crazy out here in the street. Y'all do this online. You see what happened to Chud, and you see what happened to the boy in Vegas. It's cool for y'all to express this online, and it's cool. Like I said, why? Because when y'all come out here, y'all know FBAs ain't going. We ain't going.
And let me play a little bit more of this video just for those who just tuned in. This is only like a minute 59. And this further speaks to, our spirit of heroism, you know what I mean? And this, Gary, like I said, Gary, I can't take you serious no more, Gary, because he got all this stuff to say in the chat. So that would have been more than enough time for bro to come up. You could have came up for 5 minutes, and he like, well, why do I have to hit the link? Well, why are you commenting in the chat? So he's over here talking about that this is white infrastructure. Foundational Black Americans built the White House. Is that white infrastructure? You know what I mean? A bunch of these structures aren't being built by white people. Bro, they're being built by undocumented immigrants.
Where it's like, if you don't know, you don't know. Sometimes you want to be willfully obtuse. You don't want to think that we're great. There's some people, they just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe that the only reason why you could talk crazy,
i.e. Gary,
to us, talk crazy to us here, and you're living in our country, is because of our people.
And like Gary is saying we were just labor. It's the same thing that people say, you guys were just farm equipment. And it's funny though, because these people always talk about And like Big Rick said, he's something else. Gary got all this shit to say. He's saying we only here because of white mommy and daddy. White people built this stuff. You can't give credit to immigrants. You can't give credit to the foundationals because y'all was just slave labor. They say this shit all the time. Okay, so if we were just farm equipment, why didn't your lazy ass ancestors build this, right? They were too lazy to build anything, that they had to have some people that they hate and were disgusted would build things for them. Come on,
if that
Gary.
was the case, we wouldn't have as many patents that we have. We wouldn't have the unlimited amount of patents that they stole.
Hey, and peep this. Those patents
Y'all
were
don't
under
create
duress.
nothing. You're right. Y'all don't create nothing. Y'all ain't got no heroes in these other countries and these little islands that y'all got. These little, running around eating barbecue, wallaby and all this other nonsense. Like, yo, y'all ain't got no heroes. Y'all ain't got nobody to post up. I don't got no Nduku on my wall. Like, yo, remember the great Nduku? What do you do? Man, the boy made the greatest bushmeat ever in the world. We ain't got that.
No,
Where's Nduku at?
But on the flip side, Gary is kissing white mommy's butt. Like I said, Gary is not a butt kisser. He's a crack licker. He spreads the cheeks apart and licks up and down and all around. And like Big Rick says, Gary, are you scary? Bro is extra scary. And it's like, come on, bro, come stand on the business that you know, fine. You want to kiss white mommies and daddy's butt? Come on.
And
he's saying,
the nail right on the head, bro.
And look at him.
People, y'all idolize these YT people, and y'all can't fathom why we go at it with them. Y'all idolize. Y'all think that they do everything, and we are the moral compass of this damn country. If we didn't want immigration to keep going, we can stop it. We can stop it. But we let it keep going. Look at the Democrats. They crashing out. They standing on tables. They got a whole dude that they done created.
They trying to. I was just gonna say that Justin Pearson dude. They gave him an afro. So look, we already know. Gary is a butt kisser. So he's saying, "Stop it. The white ice is colder." And this is what Dr. Claude Anderson talks about.
He worked for ICE. I'll give you a call. Gary, where you from?
Forget Gary, because Gary is just trolling. And like I said, hey, Gary.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Gary, get up out of here, because we've been joined. Do us a favor, please. But hold on, we've been joined by an illustrious guest, Egyptian goddess.
Oh, damn. Dr. Fresh. Wait a minute. I know you. Wait a minute.
We've got the enchanting Egyptian goddess in building. Salute to EG.
Love one of these FBA queens to come up here and spit some knowledge.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. So I know if my girl Sunlight, the Florida fam, Egyptian goddess, if you want to hit the link, come up here. You know what I mean? We need some of that fine FBA sister spirit. So let me play a little bit of the video, because I'm getting sick and tired of Gary, the low IQ moist maniac. But shout out to Big Rig, because Big Rig is doing his mod thing. So I appreciate you, bro. I see bro over there regulating. So shout out to Mr. 350. Big Rig slaps. But let me play this video too. But I'm getting sick of people like Gary, bro. This little moist moron is always whining in the chat. You got free reign to come up here, but he's nowhere to be found. But like I said, he's a white butt kisser and crack licker, so it makes sense. But let's play a little bit more of the video.
Flowers and photos is continuing to grow outside of the Smith's grocery store. Family, friends, and co-workers have all stopped by to remember Victor and Amanda Frias Rosas. And now investigators are telling us more about what happened just hours before the couple was killed. These photos now hold a different meaning for the people who love them. Amanda and Victor Frias Rosas were more than co-workers at this meeting for the people who love them. Amanda.
So RIP to these people. These are two Latinos. Some people will call them people of color. But what color are they? Let's just assume that they're brown. But are they really brown? Okay, fine. Let's just call them brown. So there was a brown Latino who unfortunately unalived these two other brown people. Brown on brown crime, unfortunately. And guess what? No one is asking. Who raised that deranged gunman? Was he raised in a fatherless home? No one knows and no one cares.
Oh man.
No one knows and no one cares. Now,
what kind of music was he listening to? Was that Pinchata?
Yeah.
What kind of music was that man
That's what I'm saying.
That Pinchata music be having them moving their hips too hard. I don't know. It might have got violent in there. I don't know.
Was bro listening to rap music before he committed this deranged unaliving? We don't know. And it looks like, hey, the Florida fam is in the building. The illustrious, the sensational, the sophisticated Lady Quantum Love in the building. Salute to Lady Quantum. Let's get back into it. Now, this is the unfortunate tragedy. I don't advocate violence. I'm not trying to make a mockery or a light of this. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy in certain coverage, right? So we know that if this gunman didn't have the complexion for the protection, he would be drugged through the mud. So not only are they highlighting the background of the killer, I'm not seeing like wall-to-wall coverage of these heroes. You know what I mean? And speaking of this, right, they always love to talk about the black and brown, right? The black and brown. Where are the brown communities standing up for these brothers? I didn't see find me a brown content creator that's talking about, man, look, bro, the black community, you know what I mean? They really stand up for each other, or they really stand up for people of color. Nobody is saying that.
My man was in the car, pissed off. He was in the car. Next thing you heard, when he was about to go back in there and do his thing, he turned his radio on. That thing was like, Suavemente!
Suave. or you
playing all that music over there.
or the favorite, I will vote for Donald Trump.
You see the ball face, they beat the brakes off of ball.
Hey, and shout out to Nitro. Hey, Nitro. Hey, like Big Rig said. Big Rig said, "Bro, you wildin'." But what kind of hoodie is that, bro? That hoodie look clean, bro.
Oh man, foundational Black American hoodie. You know we stopped
out bro.
here. Had to put bro. Big Philly. Big Philly on the hood. You already know I carry.
Oh, okay.
FBA on the back, and I got the big FBA on the back. Big boys on the sleeve. You already know. Fly my flag every day.
Hey, shout out Nitro, bro. You really Philly. You ain't no Pottsville bull, huh?
Out here in Philly though, most of us, we ride with Easy though. A lot of stuff with Jonas. The politics in Philly is weird because if they not riding with you, a lot of hating going on out here. They will hate on you. If they can't get they want out of you hate.
I did hear about that.
Hate.
Like
it's horrible out here with that though. The hate out here is bad, man. They will hate on each other out here. That's why all the top people end up going at it with each other, man.
I did hear that, but that's a great perspective because outside looking in from Philly, and then we're gonna get back into it. Outside looking in from Philly, there is a bit of a popularity contest, right? Like people outside, like we grew up listening to Cassidy, right? Like you know what I mean? Like we like people knew about. I'm talking about before all the other people. It was like Beans and Cassidy, bro. So there is a bit of a nostalgia where it's like even if somebody might rock with Philly, the bias might set in, or they might use a different criteria, right? Because to me, Easy can't hold a candle to Cassidy in terms of penmanship, but when you talk about battling, right? Easy is a phenomenal battle rapper. You see what I'm saying?
On beat, it might be a problem, but when you standing in front of Easy, it is not what they think it is. That energy Easy be bringing, that different talk, nope.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's a monster. But like I said on beat, but I don't even think that's a contest. You know what I mean? But like I said, we talking about battle rap. So Easy has been a monster, and while he slipped up in some battles, like he has some crazy names under his belt. You know what I mean? Even if somebody mess up, that ain't on him. You know what I mean? He cleared Ill Will. Ill Will messed up. That ain't on him. He cleared Hitman. You know what I mean? He lost to Geach, but like he cleared a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Cassidy thought all the Philly being behind them and all that nonsense was going to work. And when he got in front of Easy and he started getting in front of you, Easy started moving, and them bars and everybody being behind you is listening to his bars, and them shit is hitting, and the people behind you is getting quiet. That shit feel different. I already knew Cassidy got problems, man. I'm like, yo, man, I don't know what you think this is. This ain't no face off. This ain't the beats. This ain't none of that, man. A lot of your battles are sketchy anyway.
Yeah, no, and that's all I was saying. Like when it comes to, and I'll still rock with Cass, but like I said, if I'm giving an impartial analysis, like I said, Easy is a monster, bro. So you know, like whatever you did on beat, you can't really bring that into the battle. You feel me? So you got to transform into something different, and whatever you transform into, like, is it gonna be enough to contend with what Easy is bringing in the battle? I'm only talking about in the battle. You know what I mean? So it's up for debate. But let me pull the video back up. What you over there shaking up over there, man? Nitro,
I'm about to hit the
know.
gym, baby. Gotta stay ready. You want to get ready. I'm on my way to the gym.
Got you. Okay, that's what's up. All right, let me pull the video back up. And no, Roger, we ain't talking about battle rap now, but you know, this the beauty of a live stream. It can go different ones. But I am gonna have a stream just where I talk about battle rap. And shout out to my boy. I don't know if you my boy Danny Myers. He gonna be up here too. I know Danny.
Oh yeah,
that's the homie. Yeah, that's the homie.
What you think about your boy stealing boxes out this pharmacy?
Geechee. I mean, I thought it was a bit idiotic. I thought like if you that prominent of a name, you know what I mean? Like right now, Cash should already have some level of a legitimate hustle, you know what I mean? And this is gonna be the last thing before our transition. Like, I mean, shout out to Geechee, you know, he's definitely a legend in the game, but you know, you just gotta call a spade a spade. What he was doing was idiotic, you know what I mean? And if you look at the amount of money that was projected to be made, like, was it really worth the time that you gonna sit down for? And another thing that I say things too, like, because I ain't no innocent angel. I've done my fair share of, let's just say, nefarious things, but the thing is, I ain't gonna self-snitch about what I'm doing, and I move a certain different type of way, right? So like, we already know, like, let's say, you know, they already pulling niggas over for DWBs, right? Driving while black, right? So, you know, you got to move a little bit different, bruh. So it's like, bruh, why are you speeding when you know you smoking, right? So nigga be speeding and then smoking and then get pulled over. And it's like, man, they just got it out for me. Yeah, they do got it out for you. So, you know, you feel me? Like, why are you speeding? Why are you know what I mean? So two things could be true at the same time, right? Yes, they can be racially targeted and profiling you. But if you already know that, nigga, you're speeding, then you got hella niggas in the car that look like goons. Nigga, why none of y'all, bruh, dressed like Steve Urkel? Shout out to Mac Dre. He said D-boy with the square look decoy. Nigga, I'll have a dusty look so niggas think I'm homeless. I'll have a Duncan Penderhughes, Steve Urkel look. You feel me? Yes, officer. Yes, officer. Like, bruh, you use your work voice and stuff, because it's all about getting home. The number one rule of any hustle commandment is to not get caught. Once you get caught, you failed. There's nothing to glorify. If a nigga said he want to win a fight and he get knocked out, I'm not gonna praise him getting knocked out. If a dude said he's selling packs and then get caught up, I'm not gonna praise he got caught up. Free my nigga. Like, no, the nigga was dumb. He shouldn't even be locked up right now, bruh.
Man, he got locked up. They started playing videos and they were zooming in on Geechee's face as he's telling a past story about how he used to do what he did, and everything he said in the story is everything that happened out there. I'm like, this boy's a moron. You told these people how you do it, and you went out there and did it. Exactly how you said in the story. You was smiling, you was jovial about it. Yo, it was like you was back in that mode. Like, yeah, we was moving, we was doing this, we switched cars, we did everything you did. But they was just watching y'all this time. They was waiting for y'all to come back.
And that's what I'm saying. This whole self-snitching era, we got to call it what it is. It's not only sassy, it's stupid as well. And then start people, and shout out to the brother Eureka. I haven't seen you over here in a minute, Eureka. Where you been hiding at, bruh? But hopefully everything has been well with you. Blessings to you and the family. Long time no see or hear from you, Eureka, but salute to you. But as we transition though, but like I said, we have to be better as men, bro. We got too much to lose, you feel me? And on top of that, how are we going to be able there to provide for our families if we getting locked up? Geechee has a family and kids, but he's not there to provide for his family and kids based on selfishness and foolishness, right? I don't think he's a horrible guy or evil person. It's just, bro, you were just moving moronic, moving stupid. Once we get up and advance in age, you're supposed to advance in knowledge and wisdom and how you're most supposed to be more strategic with your hustle, bruh. Everybody is hustling. All the people that's doing insider trading, that's a crime. You know what I mean? But they're strategic, slick, cunning, and clever with their crimes. All these people with all these offshore bank accounts and things like that, those people are committing crimes, tax fraud, crime. They're doing all sorts of crime, embezzlement, crimes. They're committing crime in a more sophisticated manner because crime pays. Now, just to be clear, I'm not advocating anyone go do a crime. However, if you are going to do a crime, don't be idiotic with your crime. Make sure that you've crafted a way to get out of it. But now there's so much legal hustles that you don't even have to be doing a crime. It's to a point where niggas are doing crime just to say, man, I'm really in the field. Yeah, nigga, you got locked up. Man, free my nigga. No, leave that nigga locked up because that's what he wanted, right? He wanted to be glorified for being locked up. So now you locked up.
You know them bulls still ain't been court yet.
And peep this, their court date ain't probably gonna be for like 2 years.
Listen, I'm talking about the bulls in Philly that hit that damn armored truck for 1.8.
Oh, really? None of them?
No, none of them been caught yet.
Hey, what happened with Bill Collector? I know, bro. I know he from like right outside the city, right?
Stupid gun charge.
That's why I said I seen bro had to sit down. Yeah, Norristown. I was trying to.
I think he got to sit down for a year or two.
Is that where Froze is from too?
Yeah, Froze is from out there too. Yeah, that's
Got
like
you.
out the outskirts, right? That's like right on the edge of Philly, like people from Norristown, they be in Philly all the time, so it's not really a big deal. They just make it a big deal at battle rap because they want to make it a big deal. But the problem with that is that you're from here, but you ain't that good. That's the problem. Is that you want the clout, you want the fame for being able to represent the town. You want to represent the biddy, but you ain't good enough to represent it. That's just it. You ain't good enough.
And Philly has some prestigious hitters too. When you talk about on paper, like I said, Beans is always going to be one of my favorite. But Reed Dollars put in a lot of work in the streets. Hollow Man, you rock with Hollow Man?
Yep. But
you see what I'm saying? So like when you talk about the biddy, bro, it's some hitters out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's Ab, Cassidy, you know what I I mean?
And that's crazy. AR Ab he was on his way up.
Yeah.
Joyce was popping. And the feds was like,
not so fast. However, AR Ab
at the height.
AR Ab was moving a bit goofy as well too, because he was doing the same thing as Geechee.
Around goofy.
He was doing interviews.
Goon king. He was with everything he said. He was out here in the streets doing it.
No, I'm saying, but he was also reliving and reenacting some of it on like DJ Vlad interview. That's what I'm talking about.
And he was still living it out. He still had the squad. OBH is still in Philly, but they.
OBH, yeah. You know who News is? You rock with News?
Yeah, I know who News is. That's another. It's like a lot of the guys in Philly. Like I done ran up on a couple of other dudes out here that battle rap, and it's like if they stay focused.
You know Top Floor Loot? Hey, he really be pushing the line where he like Norristown niggas can't speak for Philly and shit. So that's why I said, like you said.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff is just be hate. It's why, because the Norristown dude is more clout than you. He got more clout, more prestige in Philly than you do. Luke, we don't even know where your battles are, and then Luke got to make battles, and he got to get on stage where his battles count. They don't count where he's up. So nobody's paying attention to some of these battles. Now he done messed around, signed a contract with URL. We ain't never gonna see your battles now. Ain't nobody buying no app.
Hey, I hear you. Let me play a little bit more of the video. Hold up.
And Victor Frias Rosas were more than flowers.
And just for those who just came in, I'm playing this video. There was a Las Vegas couple who was killed at Smith's grocery market, and there were two foundational Black Americans who were unarmed, and they took down the gunmen and subdued them until the cops came. So this is a news story reporting on it.
A memorial with flowers and photos is continuing to grow outside of this Smith's grocery store. Family, friends, and co-workers have all stopped by to remember Victor and Amanda Frias Rosas. And now investigators are telling us more about what happened just hours before the couple was killed. These photos now hold a different meaning for the people who love them. Amanda and Victor Frias Rosas were more than co-workers at this Las Vegas Smith's. They were parents and partners.
She was a beautiful person, and so was her husband. She was so happy.
The two were shot and killed Tuesday morning inside the store, but according to Metro Police, the shooting was not random. Investigators believe Amanda's ex-boyfriend and the father of two of her children first went looking for the couple at their home hours earlier. According to an arrest report, surveillance video captured 43-year-old Alejandro Estrada near the house, where detectives later found shattered glass and signs the home had been ransacked. Then later that morning, police say Estrada went to the grocery store and followed the couple through the aisles before opening fire. Shoppers ran for safety, while investigators say bystanders tackled and restrained him outside until officers arrived.
She finally found a good man and was so happy.
According to investigators, Amanda and Estrada had been involved in an ongoing custody dispute. Friends now remembering Amanda as a devoted mom.
He was always available for her too, no matter what.
Tonight, the store is empty, and loved ones are left grieving a loss that changed their family.
So it's an unfortunate situation, but thank goodness for those FBA brothers that came and saved the day. And I am going to pull up a couple more stories so I can highlight the Black heroism. And then after that, I'll get ready to shut it down. I may come back and hit y'all with a double header. Seems like y'all was feeling the stream. And, but Roger sent me something. It's funny because Roger was like, y'all talking about battle rap? Check your DM. So he sent me something of one of the legends, and I only heard a little bit of it, but bro sound like he was gassing. Now, some of y'all is young, wet behind the ears, breath smelling like Similac.
The king.
I'm like, hold on, Nitro. What you know about bro? Let's play, bro. Bro don't get enough. I heard the first few seconds, and I was like, bro is chopping. Let's hear it, because this ain't that long. It's only like 50 seconds. So let's let the dog cook.
Straight from the Brooklyn streets where they could see me at. Where it's never easy at, that's the borough we be at. Real hitters keep the strap for any type of beef or spat. Make your head tilt back like Ed a BC hat. That's where we gon' leave you at, make them take a leaky nap. Anytime that we attack, you don't want a piece of that. That thug mentality can be an aphrodisiac. But you're doing too much, homie, please relax. Don't make this animal damage you, animal banish you. Handle you flammable like a match. Do a candle, do with words. I be a man if you plan to do any anamical acting against the intangible. You must be sniffing albino. Realize I'm a G, you just side joke. Realize that's Mike, but not Dino. Samoa, not Wino.
What? That nigga went off on that.
The king.
Bro, what?
The king. The king.
That was crazy.
Big dog in the building.
That was crazy. Salute to Roger Meadows. That was fire. And Eureka said he's been working, bro. I feel you, bro. Blessing to the family. Get your paper. And the reason why I love that is because when you a country music star, if you 50 years old, bro, there's a bunch of 50-year-old country artists making great music. A bunch of 50-year-old R&B people making great music. There's 50-year-old pop stars making great music. But then if you get into a certain age and rap, then it's like, bro, you too old. Nah, you may be too old to do certain things. You ain't never too old to pick up a pen and spit a hot 16, 24, 30. Yeah. Yeah, because right now
I'm gonna keep my notification on, bro. If you go back later on, I'm gonna try to pop out. I got you on the notification, John. Got you lit, man. Yo, keep spitting that knowledge, man. Good looking, brother.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro. And I'm about to shut it down. And thank you for gracing the panel, Nitro. You came and chopped it up.
Anytime, boy. Anytime. B1.
B1. And Roger Meadows, did you just see the video that I played of Kane that you sent? You said, I don't think Kane is hurting. What do you mean that you don't think he's hurting? You don't think he's hurting for money? You don't think he's physically hurting? Like, what do you mean by that? Elaborate, Roger. But thanks for sending that. I ain't seen that. Big Daddy Kane with the flame. Yoga flame. Fire. That was crazy. Oh, you say you don't think he's hurting for money? I mean, bro looked good. He looked great for his age. He still looked fly. That was fire. The breath control, the cadence, the way he chopped that up. Big Daddy Kane is underrated, right? You see him with the gray hairs. He's too old to rap. Why? Because of some arbitrary number? I'll put that up right now. Big Daddy Kane, a OG rapper versus some young mumble rapper. You gonna go with the young mumble rapper because he's 21 or because he's 19? Because he's younger? Younger doesn't mean better. There's a bunch of young people. LeBron James is 41 years old. There's a bunch of young basketball players. That don't mean that they're automatically better than him. So, you know, one thing, especially when we're talking about rap music in specific, right? People always try to put this arbitrary age restriction on it. But no, as long as you're putting out great content, you know, rap until, you know, your voice can't talk anymore. Now, this is leading on with the theme. Now, I know we kind of went all over the place, but this is a live stream, you know. It's kind of like channel my inner Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates, right? My live stream is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? So let's pull up because, as I told you, heroism is foundational Black American freedman culture, right? So let's show this. These are with receipts. Captain Riley Leroy Pitts, the first Black commissioned officer to receive the Medal of Honor, was killed in action in Vietnam. When a grenade landed among his men, he threw himself on it. It failed to explode, but he continued to direct his unit. Hold on. He continued to direct his unit's fire from an exposed position until he was fatally shot. This is heroism. Sergeant Henry Johnson of the Harlem Hellfighters fought off German raiding party. Hold on, let me make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Harlem Hellfighter Sergeant Henry Johnson fought off a German raiding party in World War I with only a bolo knife. He suffered 21 wounds while saving a fellow soldier. He was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Obama in 2015, 85 years after his death. Now, this is Obama trying to do some symbolic gesture. Hey, look, you know, I care about the Blacks, so by giving a symbolic nothing burger. Now, it's not a nothing burger in the annals of history, right? But in terms of the Black community, what does this do for you? It doesn't do anything. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been honored, but he was honored 85 years later. Fitz Lee and 3 other Buffalo Soldier volunteers risked certain death during the Spanish-American War. Under a hail of gunfire, they rowed ashore repeatedly to rescue pinned down reconnaissance party in Cuba, for which all 4 received the Medal of Honor. So they were under heavy gunfire, and they still said, you know what? We're going to rescue our men. Medical and scientific pioneers. Dr. Jane C. Wright revolutionized oncology, pioneering the use of chemotherapy as a viable treatment. This is heroism. Many of us have people that we know have suffered from cancer, right? This person revolutionized and pioneered the use of chemotherapy. As a Black woman, she overcame immense barriers to co-found the American Society of Clinical Oncology and served as a presidential advisor on cancer policy. Vivian Thomas, a Black man without a medical degree, developed the surgical technique to correct blue baby syndrome, tetralogy of Fallot, at Johns Hopkins in 1940s, saving thousands of infant lives. Now, they'll love to talk about one crusty dude that harmed one other Black dude, and somehow that's Black culture, right? One Black dude unalives another Black dude, and that's Black culture. One Black man without a medical degree saves thousands of infants. They love to talk about pro-life and they love the babies, right? This person saved thousands, tens of thousands, and maybe hundreds of thousands of infant lives. But somehow that's not Black culture. Make it make sense. One man shooting one man, Black culture. One man saving thousands of kids, not Black culture. Huh? The shit doesn't even make any sense. Shout out to Vivian Thomas without a medical degree. So this is the resiliency that we have even without medical training, even while facing these racial barriers. So to pretend as if IQ was inherent and, you know, these people were just born, you know, to be a certain way. No, people are engineered socially, mainly by their environment. And poverty will dictate a lot of how people's behavior will be and the outcomes of their life will be. Dr. Charles Drew pioneered the world's first large-scale blood bank and the process of separating and preserving blood plasma, saving countless Allied soldiers during World War II. Again, one man saving countless lives. So they can't even count, right? They can't say it was tens. They can't say that it was hundreds. They can't say that it's thousands. It was countless amounts of soldier lives that were saved. Foundational Black American culture. Alice Augusta Ball, a young chemist who died at 24, developed the first effective treatment for leprosy, Hansen's disease, a breakthrough that brought hope to thousands of patients in the 1920s. So we are doing this stuff under immense pressure, under racial barriers, racial subjugation, being racially oppressed, and we're still creating things that not only help us, but help thousands and sometimes millions. Jabbar Gibson, a 20-year-old with no driver's license, commandeered an abandoned school bus during Hurricane Katrina. He drove 13 hours through treacherous conditions to evacuate over 70 people from the flooded city to the safety of Houston. I mean, this is pretty heroic. Someone who didn't even have a driver's license. Most people who don't have a driver's license, they don't know how to drive a car. And then if they knew how to drive a car, they may not be comfortable with driving a bigger car. He, with no driver's license, commandeered a bus, and he didn't get the bus to save himself. He went and saved other people in extremely treacherous conditions and were able to evacuate over 70 people. Again, one Black dude kills another Black dude. That's Black culture. One Black dude saves over 70 people. That ain't Black culture. Make it make sense. The people that he saved were overwhelmingly, if not all, black, because all of these towns are highly segregated. Loomis Little, a black farmer born into slavery in Georgia, risked his life in 1913 to save a white man trapped in a well filled with dynamite fumes. He refused an offer of money, stating he went for the sake of saving life, and later earned the Carnegie Medal for his heroism. This is American culture. This is part of our culture. Y'all love to talk about all these disgusting and degenerate things. How about you talk about this? Because this ain't just black culture. This is American culture. So not only did he save a white man in 1913, all you got to do is look at type in how were black people treated in Georgia in 1913. That's all you got to do is type. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Yet and still, he saved a white man. And then when the white man offered him money, he said, no, I'm good, bro. I ain't even do it for the money. I did it for the sake of saving a life. And this is similar to what the brother said earlier, right? They said, man, we would have helped whoever was in danger. We don't help people based on race. That's part of our spirit, right? We are the only ones that push the rising tide lifts all boats. All these other groups say, yeah, we are the ones, oh yeah, we need more babies. The others are saying we need more white babies, more Jewish babies, more Chinese and Asian babies, right? They get real ethnic specific when it's about something pertaining to their group. But with us, you know, we're supposed to uplift everyone, save everyone, include everyone, while everyone is trying to exclude us and downplay our contributions. But this is etched in history. This ain't me making this up. This ain't no fallacy, right? And as much as they want to talk about heroism, blacks aren't just the only heroes. I never said that they were. But who was the Latino version of MLK? Who was the Asian version of Fred Hampton? Who was the white version of Malcolm X? These people claim that they have all these heroes, which I'm sure they do. Who are your heroes? And then here's another caveat, that weren't anti-black, because MLK wasn't anti-Asian, anti-anyone, right? Fred Hampton wasn't anti-white, anti-immigrant or anything like that. But then you look at many of these people in these other groups, these so-called people of color, and they have a history of coming from places that are inherently anti-black. But you're not supposed to talk about it. We're supposed to pretend as if we have some sort of solidarity based on melanin, when many of them don't even have melanin, or at least the same level of melanin, because everyone has melanin. Even white people have melanin, but it's about the amounts of melanin that you have. But even melanin, just like we say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You can't melanate yourself into a lineage. You can't immigrate into a lineage, morph, wish, and pray and cross your fingers and be of a lineage. You know what I mean? People have their own specific ethnic sovereignty that they're entitled to, right? And just because you have a certain skin pigment doesn't mean that we're all the same. Vivek Ramaswamy has the same skin pigment as some Latinos and as some foundational Black Americans. Is Vivek Ramaswamy Latino? Is Vivek Ramaswamy a foundational Black American freedman? So yeah, melanin and certain phenotypes don't always tell you what someone's specific lineage or culture is. Now, the Rev C.T. Vivian was a nonviolent warrior who stood firm in the face of a racist sheriff's club in Selma, 1965. After being slugged in the face, he rose and declared, "You can turn your back now, but you cannot beat down justice." His public beating helped galvanize support for the Voting Rights Act. Now, tell me a story like this. Tell me the story of the Asian that got beat to a pulp in support for Voting Rights Act. Who were the white people who got beat to a pulp? Because they love to say, we were there, we helped, we marched. Okay, fine. There should be plenty of stories that you can tell, right? Who was the Latino that got beat to a pulp in support of Voting Rights Acts? You can't name anyone. But this is why they try to say, hey, people of color fought for voting rights. No, it wasn't people of color. It was foundational Black American freedmen. And there were some occasional people of other racial and ethnic backgrounds that joined. And when they did help fund it, like i.e. some Jewish organizations helped fund it, a lot of them were doing it because they knew that they were going to be able to tether and leech onto whatever legislation passed, which is why they passed legislation that said things like minorities, people of color, marginalized groups, very vague, very nebulous, because Jews are considered minorities, which how, but okay, right? They're considered a marginalized group because they're always talking about how bad anti-Semitism is, right? So these terms were very vague, and these groups only helped because they knew that they can get something off the pain and plight of us, which is why they always talk about Black people being lynched. This happened to Black people this, Black people were beating. Okay, how are you going to help the Black people that were oppressed? Oh, we're going to help minorities. So then that means white women, gay white men, gay white trans men, immigrants, legal, undocumented Jewish people. And it's like, hold on, but you're talking about the Black people lynched. Oh, don't worry, we'll help the Black people. Look, there's a Nigerian immigrant that we helped, and there's a Haitian immigrant that we helped, and there's a Senegalese immigrant we helped, and they're Black just like you. So look, we help the Blacks. You know what I mean? That's what the affirmative action and DEI has turned into, off the backs of Black people getting beaten, right? Show me the African immigrants that were just getting beat down in the street. It didn't happen. Show me the Latino immigrants getting beat down in the streets for voting rights or civil rights. Didn't happen. Alexander Terrell founded the nation's first all-Black volunteer rescue squad in Roanoke, Virginia in 1941. And just in case you don't know, right? But let me finish reading this. In an era of segregated healthcare, the Hunting Life-Saving Crew filled a critical gap, providing emergency services to the Black community and inspiring similar squads nationwide. So we were the ones who actually started the whole ambulance and EMT because we didn't have anyone else to help us. So we created an infrastructure to where we would give people life-saving measures, drive them to the hospital. And then it got like kind of privatized, and the government, you know, stepped in with the ambulance and stuff. But that was done because of us. That was done because of our own heroism, right? And there's more instances, and I can go on, but this is foundational Black American culture. Again, you can't tell me that one Black dude shooting one Black dude is our culture, but one Black dude saving tens of thousands of lives is not our culture. If you are pushing that type of line, then it's just you're clearly a disgusting anti-Black bigot, and there's probably no saving you. So I'm going to get ready to shut her down, but I do want to thank everyone. And I do mean everyone who joined the stream to view this live concurrently and that will be watching this on the replay. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world. Y'all chose to be here with me, at least momentarily. And for that, I thank you. And Roger says, me as an IT guy, look up my favorite Friedman inventor, Dr. Mark Dean. B-Eazy Dat Dude, he's still alive. Okay, I'm going to check Mr. Mark Dean out. And thanks, Roger. Thanks, Eureka. Thanks, Nitro 215. He came up and cooked. Big Rig slaps. Doug says FBA equals warrior class. Heroes, tethers equal cowards. I would concur. Sambos equal cowards. Tethers equals cowards. But the FBA, we are the warrior class. So I'm going to get ready to shut her down. And Lady Quantum, I meant to respond. You said that intro was fire. Thanks, boo. Well, thank you, Biddy boo. Lady Quantum, I appreciate you. And hopefully you start coming over here a little bit more, you know, so I can show love to the Florida fam. And Big Rig is still in here rocking out. I ain't know bro was still in here, but shout out to Big Rig and shout out to the fellow Geminis, because I'm a Gemini too. So your boy's birthday is on May 29th, Gemini gang. the greatest sign out there. But shout out to y'all. And Roger, if you still in there, what sign are you, Roger? Y'all let me know. Anybody that's still in the chat, let me know. Like, what are my supporters? Do I got a lot of Geminis? Do I got a lot of Libras, Capricorns, Aquarius? Let me know. But yeah, this is a Gemini territory over here. But salute to y'all. I'm not a big astrology guy like that. But some people say that it is some very pertinent information. Okay, shout out to the May 23rd. Mine's is on the 29th. Okay, Big Rig. Big Rig, the Gemini. Salute to Brody. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and hit y'all with these visuals. Hopefully, y'all stick around to the end. And I'm going to get ready to shut her down. So, without further ado.
Yeah. B-Eazy Dat Dude, yeah. Shit so hot it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. I bring the pain like an aftermath of a car wreck. There's a lot of niggas that say they real. To me, that shit is far-fetched. Them cats is pussy. They really is on some feminine stuff. If I ride up on them with the 40 ounces, it's the definition of adrenaline rush. What it do is sweet like cinnamon puffer. My niggas is rough like Willow Pass. Grew up out on Mary Mac, but I used to hang on Willow Pass. These birds that I roll with, outcasts and misfits. Better zip lips when you get hit. When the fifth spit, flat line in your fit. Trap habits is black magic, no voodoo. Get the bands like Goku for the cocaine to go cuckoo. Most these niggas is foo-foo, so I'm shitting on them like doo-doo. I can't fuck with y'all like tofu. I'm just saying, man, like Goku. Bad bitches at the house with me watching Netflix or Roku. Fuck them both at the same time, and I swear to God it was so cool. Street legend, real boss, I call shots cause I'm still saucy. I know some G's to the bike crack on shite racket and fly back out to Milwaukee. When they hear me flow, they say I be burning up, burning up. Cookies to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. When you hear me flow, say I be burning up, burning up. Cookies to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up.
B-Eazy Dat Dude. B-Eazy Dat Dude. Yeah, they know the name. Stacking up the paper, but having money ain't a thing. Standing on business, burning hotter than a flame. From the block to the boardroom, you gotta stand the rain. B-Eazy Dat Dude. Yeah, they know the name. Stacking up the paper, but having money ain't a thing. Standing on business, burning hotter than a flame. From the block to the boardroom, you gotta stand the rain. B-Eazy Dat Dude, yeah, they know the name. B-Eazy Dat Dude.
B-Eazy Dat Dude, boy, stop playing. You know you dat dude and been dat dude. Back in the day, he was that dude. Fast forward to today, he's still that dude. Yup, dat dude. You can see as clear as day that he here to stay. Either get with the program or move out the way. Ooh. B-Eazy Dat Dude, he back with another one, another one, another one, another. B-Eazy, tell me how it feel. Ooh, tell me how it feel. To be real, to be really that dude. B-Eazy, that dude. Ay, ay.
Like, share, and subscribe. We growing on this journey. Come and take a ride. If you wanna slide with that dude, be easy. We going all the way to the top. Believe me. All the way to the top. Believe me.
Be easy, he is that dude. Ooh, he is that dude, be easy, he is the one that you can call so he can get the job done. He about to reign supreme if you thought his run would soon end. He just getting started though, so go ahead and tune in. Be easy, he is that dude. Ooh, 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 he is that dude. Be easy, he is that dude. It's plain and obvious. A certified professional, ain't never been a hobbyist. He is one of the nicest, realest, coldest, and dopest, so you should take notice. Woo! That dude, be easy, that dude, be easy, that dude. Show love and support to Be Easy Dat Dude.
Be easy, be easy. Ooh. Oh, you ain't know? That's just Be Easy, Be Easy that dude. Be easy, he is that dude. Ooh. Be Easy that dude, ayy.
Ooh, be easy. He's styling and profiling, fresher than a mannequin.
Hey yo, who's that? Mama, there go that man again.
He the one who get the block booming and make the trap move. I'm still trying to figure out who is that dude.
Oh, you ain't know?
That's just Be Easy, ayy, Be Easy that dude. Be easy, he is that dude, so you gotta let him cook. He be going dumb off the hook, got all them haters shook. He a king, you a rook, so don't ever start tripping, get it twisted or mistook.
You love me. You really love me. You're not going anywhere.